everybody. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? I apologize for my lateness. Xfinity sucks and my internet went out. And you guys know I have direct plug-in internet here. It'll just give me an outage for no reason, because Xfinity is stupid. God. How y'all doing? I had to have a quick chat with Eclectic journalist backstage. She is here with us, you all. And my apologies. We are almost 30 minutes behind. Bear with us. I appreciate you all so much. I had to get whatever troubleshoot it from this stupid internet box so that I can go live, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to do this. Yeah, oh man, Xfinity is, oh my God. Only because I love you all. And part of the YouTube earnings go back to the cable, the internet bill. Jesus Christ, they suck. Oh, they suck. Yeah, shout out to all of you all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Hit that like button as you come in. Y'all hit that like button as you come in. Everybody speak to everybody. Shout out to my mods, to all the members and supporters, to all the Luxes. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I appreciate all of you. Let's get some music going. I appreciate you guys for hanging out with us. We have the Eclectic journalist with us, and I am going to bring her up shortly and let her introduce herself and tell us about her great content. I am loving. We are all huge fans of at least 2 of her good videos she's done here in the LLC, because we have actually reacted to them. And so we will be going over part of her episode 9 of her great research that she's been doing on Candace. Oh, Candace, you dumb demon. Y'all, I am so glad you guys have decided to tune in. You could be listening to anyone else, but you choose to hang out with me here in the Lady Luck Club. So thank you all so much. Make sure you are subscribed to the LLC, to the Eclectic Journalist, as well as the Lady Luck Club with Sweet Tea. If we can get the YouTube channel links dropped in the chat for all of those that are new, for those that are listening on the Eclectic Journalist side as well, shout out to you all. Hello. I am so excited, you guys. Are y'all ready? Hit the 4 if you are ready for the Eclectic Journalist to come up. Hit the 4 in the chat. Bring it now. Don't play with it. Hit the 4, y'all. Let's go. I want to see 4s coming through that chat. I know the internet is being stupid right now. Hit the 4, y'all. I'm excited. You all are excited. Shout out to all the mods, Francisca. Thank you so much for tuning in and holding it down. Ex Samurai up in here. Tina Marie, Mindy, thank you all so much. I appreciate you all. Juju, thank y'all so much for hanging in there with me. Mackenzie, we got a new member, Jackie Bolin. How you doing, Jackie? Shout out to all of you all. Y'all ready? All right, y'all, let's bring her on up. Eclectic Journalist. How you doing, girl?
Hi.
Say hello to everyone. Introduce yourself to us.
Hello, everyone. So the thing is, like, I can hear you 2 times. I'm hearing you 2 times. Yeah, it's like I hear both streams.
Ah, that's weird. Do you have the internet page up as well as StreamYard? If you're in StreamYard, come out of YouTube.
Oh, maybe I do. Hold on. Let me check my tabs.
Exit out of YouTube. Yeah.
I found it. Okay, got it. Got it.
You good? All right.
Okay.
Introduce yourself to everybody, girl. Yeah, we hear you good. Can you all hear her? Hit the 4 if you all can hear the Eclectic Journalist.
Yeah, because this is a new mic, so
we hear you just fine.
I have no idea what's going on. Okay, so I'm the Eclectic Journalist. Some people have been calling me EJ, but my name's Megan also. So yeah, just I have a YouTube channel. It hasn't been around for very long. I think maybe like 4 or 5 months.
Okay, look at you. Yeah. And it's already growing.
Yeah. Yeah, I was really lucky for whatever reason, my friend told me I should have a YouTube channel. And then so I was like, oh, okay. And I talked about it with her for like a while. Then I started putting it into action, and I made like a name idea. And at the time I was doing some journalistic type stuff. I was looking into some stuff and like trying to write and things. So that's where that name came from. But anyway, so then I actually made videos for a year before I ever posted them. So I was just making like
Wow.
yeah, like almost a year. I think it was like 7 months. And that because I was like, I need to have a set amount of videos ready to go, but I had to
Right.
learn everything. And also like I now I'm faster at editing, but at the beginning it was really
Oh
bad how
man.
long it would
Yeah.
take me. So
Don't
yeah, so
worry.
the whole thing was just I probably could have just started it, you know what I mean, now that I know what I know,
Mhm.
but when I did start it, a few weeks before, 'cause it launched January 1st, and a few weeks before I
Mhm.
started being friendly on my Twitter page that I had made for the brand, and it was right after the Charlie situation, so I sort of fell
Yep.
into all the people calling out the lies that were being spread about the Charlie
Yep.
assassination and about TPUSA, so I fell
Mhm.
in with all those people, you know?
Okay. Oh
So,
wow. Good. And you
yeah,
know, I was gonna get into how you came to create your, investigative pieces. You have what, episode 9 now, that
no,
you've done.
episode
Episode
10.
10. We're behind. Oh, we gotta watch that. We gotta do a watch party for episode 10. Good Lord.
Yeah.
How did you get into this, and what's your inspiration? The time
Well,
and prep
my
for it.
channel
Let us.
wasn't yeah, my channel wasn't about this at all,
Mhm.
like, it was about well, one of the things that I am really passionate about is that if we know a bunch of stuff, at least a little bit about everything, it's hard for us to get propagandized, which is so important nowadays because
Mhm.
it was the mainstream media, now it's more than that, now it's even the new media,
Right.
the weird X accounts, like, pretty much everything you see on X is just basically, like, not true, you know?
Exactly. Exactly.
And so yeah, so and people just don't realize that kind of stuff because they use heuristic thinking most of the time. So that's what
Mhm.
we just naturally think with is heuristics, and no one ever
Mhm.
does the deeper analytical thinking. So, like, my whole thing I was starting out first, like a series was, um like building up mental concepts so that we can
Yeah.
be fortified against our minds against propaganda. So it was just
Mhm.
like all kinds of topics that we should know about. And so that's what
Mhm.
I sort of started to do. And I also did it with interviews. So I'd take an interview of somebody that had all kinds of stuff in it, and then I would broaden it with like a chalkboard, and
Right.
I would look things up about what they were talking about. And
Right.
so that's sort of where I started, but nobody watched those. They got like 10 views, like, or whatever. So,
But
um,
it's informative. It's very, very informative and thorough. And that's the key, right? Is to get those pieces out to where you still capture the audience and you're getting out the information to where it's not repetitive or the same as everyone else, because we can all talk about Candace all day, but we all have our unique way of how
yes.
we present that information, and that is what makes us all great content creators, independent
Yeah.
journalists. I consider myself the independent journalist. That's what makes it so unique. So
Yeah, so what I
go
wanted
at it.
to do, I wanted to
Mhm.
help with the whole situation like everybody else was, but I knew I wouldn't be able to keep up on everything, like, people are making lives every day reporting what she's up to,
Yep.
just wouldn't be able to do that. I have small kids, I haven't
Right.
even alive yet, really, and so I just thought I would start at the beginning and tell her story through a narrative, and she created such a narrative and she constantly churns out narratives, so I called it the narrative machine, and I had no idea
Yeah.
it would come up to, like, 10 and on, like, I didn't know there'd be so much, like, to go
Yeah.
over, but I took my same style of, like, where
Mhm.
we really break things down, and that's what I do
Right.
in those videos. And what I do is, throughout the week, I think about a point, like, the next thing on 'cause I followed her from her beginning, like, her first
Did
YouTube
you know?
channel. Yeah, so I can sorta remember things that happened. So I'll remember things
Wow.
that happen and then try to pinpoint them down and figure it all out, like, from a new now that well, I stopped watching her when she attacked the Tate victim, like, on her show when she attacked the Andrew Tate
Oh,
victim.
yes, yes, yes. I remember Milk Bar
That's
did a video on that. Oh my
yeah,
god.
that's
And
when I
doxed the young
stopped
lady.
watching her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was, like, fine with all of his with all of
All
her
his crimes. God,
like,
Candace is
the
so
guys
evil.
that abused this young woman who were literally in
Right,
jail, she was fine with them, and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna beep out their name because I have to be respectful to them," but she was saying the young girl's name over and over again,
right, right. The
and
victim.
so I was like,
Mhm,
"What is going?" So I realized what she was a liar because I had deep
mhm,
dived into the Tate case. That's how I
mhm.
found Nathan because I started looking into it, and when
Okay.
you look into stuff, you look on YouTube too, right? You're like, "Andrew Tate is like a crazy person," right? And then
Right.
people so that's how I found Nate years ago, Nathan,
Mhm.
um, but, yeah, I mean, that's when I stopped watching her,
Yeah.
but, um so I just try to remember things that happened and then look at it with a new eye, knowing what we know now about her
Right.
and
Good.
piece the story together, like, that way.
Mhm. Okay. That sounds good. And you have to. I think the unique thing about being able to remember, you know, the things she's talked about and covered, last year around this time, as opposed to now a year later, is to have that contrast. You get to see how hypocritical she's become, in the span of what, less than 6 months. So you can imagine what that looks like over the span of a year and how her narrative, as you say, has changed so erratically and drastically. She's an extremist. She goes from one extreme to another extreme to another extreme. And people like Candace, has this narcissistic cult like personality and mentality where in her world, she's right, everyone else is wrong. You should only get the truth from her and not from reading a book. So you end up with this cult like fan base, that comes into my chat at their own peril, as I always have to say. But how do you deal with that? Because you're gonna encounter that, right? So what are
I
the
just
ways that you dealing with the cult members?
I delete their comments, like, I don't
No, don't delete them. No,
it's
you
just
delete them.
if they bring up Israel, like, cause a lot of times they'll come in and they'll say, like, bad things about Erica, or they'll bring up
Mhm.
calling me, like, an Israel I don't delete every single one, I have, like,
Right, right.
some still up there, but if they're bringing up Israel when my video has nothing to do with Israel, like, I don't want that in my algorithm because I don't want it to
I
get
got
flagged, you know what I mean? That, like, the
yeah.
show's about talking about Zionists and stuff like that, um
Okay.
and then other than that, I've like a few I've said, "Oh, I'm sorry about your low IQ, like, that must be tough," or, "Bless your heart,"
I know.
because they'll come in, they'll be like, "Oh, how much money are you making?" It's like, I haven't made a dime off my YouTube yet, I just started it, like, I got $1.99 super chat one time,
Uh-huh.
um, so
No kidding. They're bad with numbers, right? They can't add. I
yeah, it's
always
like
say, why don't y'all just look at the views of my videos and multiply that by 10 cents? And you got to get to 1,000 to generate that revenue. So you let me know how much I'm making. Meanwhile, to all the candy asses, if you want to give me the $7,000, just give me the money. This
I
stock ain't
wanna
coming back
know
around.
I wanna know where we send our PayPal links and our PayPal our cash apps. Like, I'm still waiting for that information because I
I
haven't
know,
figured that out
right?
yet. As soon as
Yeah,
I
with the
figure that out
$7,000, I'm like, why 7,000? Why not 70,000? Add another zero to that. Don't stop there. Give me 700,000. I mean, we can
well,
just keep going.
I think originally they were saying we were getting that for every post. So, literally every X post was $7,000.
No, right?
And I'm like, wow, that's but I think that'd be all the money in the world in, like, just a couple of days,
I
so
know, right? No, I'm with them. I'm like, okay, speak all that money into my life. Go ahead and get that started and send me some supers and stuff and send me some cash apps. I mean, and the thing is that they're going to. She has a lot of bots. I think most people know that, and she just want to keep denying it. But Candace has a lot of bots. So they're going to copy and paste the same comment. I guarantee you on my videos, they will copy and paste on yours because, like you said, they're pushing out this narrative. And then you have these weirdos over there on X. It's something I don't even check every day. like Project Constitution and all these old the crazy cat lady, all these people that are just bored out of their minds. Um, then we'll see. Her think her handle is like the Village Cat Lady or something. Anybody know what her name is,
It's
child?
the village crazy lady.
Village Crazy Lady. Yeah, okay, that one. Child, they go over there and it's like they're screaming to be named as a co-defendant in a federal lawsuit. And then they get mad when they actually get hit with a cease and desist letter. Like Woods and Finance should have already been sued for the things that he said.
Oh, yeah.
They were nice to give him a letter.
That Wolves and Finance guy,
Yeah.
when I first watched him, he looks like the devil incarnate. Like, if you imagined the devil standing in front of you speaking in a YouTube video, like, that would literally be him, like, with his background and the way he looks at you, dude. Do you know what I'm saying? I was like, "Oh
Yeah.
my."
And then he's standing there like Buckeye, his eyes get all wide and big. I'm like, what the heck is wrong? What's going on with him? It makes me want to say, boy, are you all right? Oh, Woods and Finance, you're not okay.
That guy scared me. I was like, "Oh my
Yeah, he
god."
is a scary fellow. Oh my goodness. Well, we
Yeah.
are so glad to have you up in the LLC. And I wanted to go over, you've already got part 10, so we could check a little bit of that out. I know you have to take, your breaks with your kids and stuff, girl. Listen, I'm a mama too. I know. My kids still like you would think they get 14, 15. Nah, they still like babies.
Oh,
Man.
I have a 16-year-old girl, and then
Do
and
you?
she doesn't cause me very many issues, but I have a 3-year-old and a
Uh-huh.
6-year-old. So,
Oh, okay. But listen, we know you got to whatever you got to do. If you've got to turn your camera off, check on your kids, do what you have to do. We're not gonna be here too long, people. We're gonna check out some of the
oh,
Eclectic Journalist video, though.
I did wanna say, though, about Candace,
Okay,
something
go
that I
ahead.
realized, doing the series. It was somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
like, in the earlier parts of it, but I realized that
Okay.
she, has been a conspiracy theorist like this the entire time. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And she just hit it because, um, I picked up on some stuff that she said that only an old school conspiracy theorist would know, and,
Wow.
there were these videos that were made back in the day about, like, it was a revisionist, like, making Hitler in a good light documentaries, and one was
Hmm.
called The Greatest Lie Ever Told, and she named her documentary that she made about George Floyd or whatever and BLM, The Greatest
Uh-huh.
Lie Ever Sold. Do you see what I'm
Wow.
saying? So she got
Right.
that from that documentary, which means she would have watched it at some time before that, and she had the nerve to make a play off that documentary working for Ben Shapiro, her Jewish boss, who probably has no idea about that. Yeah.
Wow. So it's like she sound bites, things because she lacks creativity. Because Candace, you're still bad at this, girl. She lacks creativity and has to soundbite and twist up names of books and things of that nature. Because, I mean, when you're just doing this for public relations and PR stunts, of course, she's not a serious journalist. So her creating an actual title on any journalistic piece is too hard for her to do. Candace, you can kick rocks. You can't make this up. And to go in on, someone that we all saw lose his life on national television, another person who died right before our eyes, you know, that we can see in the body cam footage. What is it's like her obsession with watching people die is disturbing to me.
Well, remember her
It's
thing was
so
called
disturbing.
Social Autopsy, which is with death, and her original name was something on Twitter was something coroner. Like, so remember her
Ugh.
social autopsy? Like, an autopsy is when you dissect somebody that's dead, and then her,
Mhm.
like, Twitter name, her Twitter name at the time was something coroner. So there's, like, a lot of death tied to all that. Yeah, even
So
back
she
then.
is obsessed with the concept of death.
Yeah,
It's
and then The
Disgusting.
thing I learned about in my well, the point I was making in my series 9 that you guys were watching the other day is that there is
Mhm,
this PR manager attached to her that he
mhm,
specializes in smear campaigns and causing drama
mhm,
between people you're in the industry with for what he calls a viral moment that then
mhm,
gets clicks and views and more subs, like, when you need them, and he became Brett Cooper because when I was looking into what happened around Brett Cooper's leave from the Daily Wire and then the smear
mhm.
campaign that got started on Brett, the girl who took her place on her show, and
Right.
all that stuff, I was like, "This is so similar to what Candace does." So I looked it up, and it was the same PR manager she got with him, like, in the weeks before she left the Daily Wire, which means he probably helped her plan
Wow.
the whole, like, causing weirdness around Daily Wire and being kinda silent about it, but hinting there was weirdness, and then
Mhm,
making all that drama around Reagan when she came into her, show to replace her,
mhm.
like, making all this drama around it that Reagan didn't really do, and,
Right.
so they did all that, but made it seem like it was Reagan because that's how a smear campaign works, and
Yeah.
it was the same PR guy that Candace has.
Wow.
So that was
So,
my point in that video. Yeah.
and you think this guy is he still the PR person? Did we
For
were
both of
watching?
them.
Yeah, he's still the PR person for them.
Yeah.
They know he's doing this.
They plan it with him. Yeah, this is how he makes them have viral moments and have that's why Brett Cooper was able to gain because it's really risky to leave a paid service like Daily Wire. You have to get all those people to leave that and move over to your
Mhm.
channel. She got over 100 million subs on her independent channel in less than a month. You know what I
It's so
mean?
unbelievable. I still can when you said that number, I was like, and you were reading. I think you were watching the clip because you had read the article about that, and then I said 100 million subs in a month. Man, that sounds like a lot of bots for me because I just can't imagine you being able to get that type of human audience like that in a month.
Well, do
Like
you
what?
know anything like, have you spent any time in the true crime community?
I do. I enjoy. I
Okay, 'cause
actually enjoy true crime when I'm not doing my
yeah, I
main
do
channel.
too. I was in the true crime community for, like, 3 years, and while it is I really
Hmm.
like the content, the people who watch it are, like, nuts, and there's all kinds of drama in the true crime in the YouTube streets that then moves to
Yes, there
Twitter.
is.
These are so it wasn't surprising
Yep.
to me when I saw people doing what they're doing to Erica or that they like drama and would follow Brett or Candace because I
Mm.
saw it in the true crime community, you know what I mean? Like, it was
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I've
so
been listening to a couple content creators talk about the David situation, the singer that unalived the young lady, the 14-year-old girl, and that has, oh my goodness, it's like
but you
true crime is its own deep pocket in YouTube.
You yeah, the people when they're in the true crime community, the viewers, they will start attacking family members. The second a child goes missing, they immediately start
uh,
to dissect everything that the family
yeah.
does. "Oh, she didn't cry enough. Oh, she didn't do this enough." So, it makes sense to me what
Yep.
they do to Erica, like, because some people will be like, "Oh, it's all just bots," and I'm like, "No, dude, there are people out there that love this stuff, and this is
You're
how they
right. Yeah.
are," you
Yep.
know?
Exactly.
So
And that's the same thing that they're, saying about her. And it's like, well, you can't control human emotions. And I think that's the blessed, you know, uh thing that's still sacred amongst humanity is that we have human emotions and a soul, and people don't get to dictate that. You can mask it all you want. You can try to, you know, put on a facade all you want, but at some point it's going to erode because it's not authentic. So I would rather Erica Kirk just be herself. If it's a kooky, weird, quirky type of person that cries and is able to, you know, talk through the tears, let her be. I mean, it is who she is. And the idea that someone witnesses their spouse being unalived on national television and somehow they're not supposed to be weird, it's beyond me. I'm still, you know, grieving the loss of my grandmother and my father, and it's been years. And it's like
Yeah,
people want her to get over this in 8 months and just act the way they want her to act. Well, they don't get to dictate that. And that's the
yeah,
one thing, like, I'm glad she doesn't give Candace that type of back and forth like that, because Candace doesn't run anything in her house.
yeah, my sister lost her husband,
Mm-hmm.
like, really unexpectedly, very young, and they had an 8-year-old boy, and,
Mm-hmm.
they were married for, like, 8 years or something, or they were together for 8 years, and then
Mm-hmm.
married for less than that, but, he lost. I was on my way because he got diagnosed with cancer, he was 27, so I was on my way to come to her home because we didn't live near each other, and I was getting really close, and then she called me and said, I need you to come pick up, my nephew from the,
Mm-hmm.
hospital. So I was like, "Oh, okay." And so I picked him up and I went to their apartment. Well,
Mm-hmm.
hours later, she comes home and he was dead. He died. And so she just, like, crashed out on the floor.
Oh
Um,
my God.
I was like, "What's going on? What's happened?" And she was, like, telling me and everything, and then she
Mm-hmm.
was pretty broken, but even, like, and so I had to figure out a lot of stuff, like, okay, how long can we gotta find a funeral home because I don't know how long the
Mm-hmm.
hospital, gives you and all this stuff, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so, um, but there were times, like, after a couple days, I was like, We need to go get supplies, we have no food or nothing." I didn't have a car, it got dropped off there by my partner at the time, and
Mm-hmm.
so she had to get up, get dressed, like,
Right.
get ready. She had to drive us around and she was, seemingly normal. Then she wanted to go to a Verizon store to see if she
Mm-hmm.
could have his message saved, like his voice message somehow kept, but she needed to
Oh
turn off the
wow.
service or whatever. And
Mm-hmm.
so we go there and then the guy's like, "Why do you need this again? Why do you have access to his phone?" And she was like, "He's dead. He died, okay? He died." Like, just deadpan. So
Yeah.
when they made fun of Erica for saying that, I was like, my sister did the same thing. I saw her do the same thing, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, to the
Yeah.
Verizon guy who then was like, you know, um,
Yeah.
so
Taken
grief
aback a
makes
little bit.
people
Yeah.
yeah, grief makes people do weird stuff. There's, like,
It
no
does.
one way to be, and there's stages, and it lasts for an extremely long time. So to
Exactly.
sit there and nitpick Erica on every little thing she does is just
Right.
so disgusting to me. Like,
It
it's,
is.
you know
And they expect her to not be human. And she has to maintain some level of grace and strength for a whole company and two minor children who fully don't understand what's going on. They're still going to grow up asking mommy what's going on with that, especially her youngest baby. He's going to like start asking questions too, because he's what, 2, 3 years old. He's not comprehending what's going on around him.
They don't.
And
Yeah,
that's so
I had to
crazy. It's like,
yeah, I
go
had
ahead.
to look it up because my sister, like I
Hmm.
said, they had an 8-year-old, and he
Yeah,
just seemed sorta normal, and I kept like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "Oh, yeah," and he didn't cry or anything, so I had to look it up. They actually don't process it at all, in the
exactly.
way we do, so, like, they have no way of, like, really expressing how they're feeling, so what happens when as they go through the grief process is they
Hmm.
will have little weird blowouts, so the plug isn't going into the Xbox, like, right away, and so then they have a big freak out and start yelling and where they wouldn't normally do that, and so, like, that's
Right,
part of the grief that they do. They actually don't just sit there and cry, like we would
right,
as adults or whatever. Yeah.
right. And it took me, and even I knew when my grandmother, God rest her soul, when she passed back in 2017, it took a week for me to actually fully, like, I cried when my mother called me and said, because my grandmother raised me. So
Yeah, me
for
too.
me and my family dynamics, yeah, it's like, what would we be without our grandmothers, So my family dynamics is like, my grandmother raised me like her daughter, even though I knew my mom, I know she's my mom, but you know, the relationship and the dynamics that I had between my mother and my aunts and uncles was more like sisters and brothers. We all called her mom, and because she raised me. So when my mother called me, she wanted to be the one to tell me. And she was like, "Okay, so mama died." And I was like, "Okay." Didn't want it to happen, had been told it was going to happen, but it's not something you're ready to process. Because I mean, even when you're told, okay, well, chance of life, quality of life is starting to decrease. And even when you're kind of like, it could happen at some point in the near future, you're still not ready for that. You're talking about Erica Kirk in a situation where her husband does what he does normally, goes out to a campus, live stream, cameras everywhere, and pop, and it happens in front of thousands of people in person, and then all across social media and the news, and it just picks up like wildfire while she's at the doctor's office with her mother.
Right,
How you
and
There's no way to fully grieve something. You gotta process that in.
yeah,
And you don't expect it. And how do you can't dictate how that should go. And it's an insult for any other human being to try to dictate to another human being how they should grieve the loss of their loved one when you didn't even pay their Candace didn't even pay their mortgage. How dare she thinks that this woman should be told how to grieve the loss of her husband?
yeah, and you're probably not gonna make, like, the best, most logical decisions in that
Right.
state of mind, so, like, every little thing she does, I know that they got really upset about the coffin thing, but
Hmm.
she felt like everyone was grieving and wondering about him and thinking about him, so she thought that that would be helpful, but she probably wasn't thinking it all the way through because she's in this, like, you know what I'm saying,
She's
state
just
of
doing
mind
yes.
that
Yeah.
doesn't make logical decisions, so to, like, nitpick everything she does is just crazy to me, I just and then to
Yeah. It's
even, like, there
absurd.
people
Yeah.
literally think she actually had something to do with this, you know?
Yeah, and that's man, that is the last thing you need. You're already grieving. You're having to help your children understand and process, and then you have a company now that you've kind of inherited here, and she still has her mother that has illness and disabilities. So he has family. He had parents. I don't know if he had siblings, but he at least had parents. So he has relatives and family that loved him and cared about him. And somehow Candace thinks that, oh, well, Erica Kirk shouldn't care about any of those things. Like none of those things should be, in her mindset. And she should just be doing this, and no, leave her alone because you don't pay her bills. It's that simple. You don't have to raise her kids. You don't have to buy them clothes or food or shelter or pay for medical expenses or daycare or school. You literally are a non-factor in her life. So leave her be. She is of how she's grieving what she does. Even with her showing the video of Charlie Kirk in the casket, I'm like, what am I going to get upset? Why would I find that to be anything? That
Yeah,
shouldn't
I
get to
didn't think
me at
anything
all.
of it, honestly,
I
I
didn't
was
think
just like
anything of it. I still don't. I'm like,
yeah, I was like,
it happened.
"Okay."
What do we to take out of that? I mean, it is what it is. It's what she chose to do, and she did it. What I find more disturbing is the idea that people think that a woman who is an American citizen should be jailed and there's no crime committed, and they can't prove it to save their life. That's what I find more disturbing. And oh,
That
the
she should
stalking
or
thing.
she should go away, she should be quiet, she's not allowed to do this,
Yeah,
she's not allo I'm like, "She's an American
child,
citizen, she could do whatever she
whatever she
wants."
wants.
She
Thank you.
if she wants to go to a stage and talk to some kids at a high school, she can do that all she
She
wants.
can.
These and
Exactly.
they're the way they're trying to make Charlie Kirk into, like, a manosphere guy where he had, like where he wants Erica chained to the kitchen or something, like, he was that's not how Charlie Kirk
Mhm.
was, you know?
Exactly.
Um,
Yep.
he
And he
he
and
married
and
her
he was
because
smart.
she was
Thank you. I was
right.
about to say that. He could pick well and smart. Now all of a sudden, she was the wrong type and he didn't know what he was doing. It's like, girl, girl. Ooh, Candace, you're a demon. So
Mm,
we have Charlie Kirk up, as you all can see. And we have your episode 10. We're gonna go through. I do know
okay, this
it's
is you might
2
wanna
hours,
warn
so we're gonna go
people.
through some.
You might wanna warn people
Oh,
because this is actually we're up to the point where the day that he died. That's what this opening and the
Okay.
first part's gonna be about, and people were very emotional watching it, leaving comments and stuff, so
Do you want me there? Okay, where's a good timestamp? I can just go
Uh,
to the times. I'll just start from where I see Candace here. It's like 16 minutes in.
yeah,
I
maybe,
won't.
maybe that's good.
Yeah.
Because people
Okay.
were I was tearing up describing it, in the video, and then people in the comments were really sad, so we might not wanna make the
Yeah, I don't
stream
want to.
sad.
I do not want to re-traumatize anybody because I think Candace has shown the assassination enough, along with the truck and the blood.
Oh,
Oh, God, how we? Oh God.
I don't show it, I just describe where I was that
Yeah.
day, and I
Okay.
read the House and Habit article, which because we've been reading the House and Habit article on my channel, but we had stopped for like the last couple episodes because the next one was the day Charlie died in her series.
Hmm.
And so I
Okay.
had to wait till we got up to the right time period. Um,
Okay.
but it's just about Charlie and about that day and how, you know,
Hmm. Well,
it all
can
went
we can
down.
start there? Is that a good place to start here at the house and inhabit? I see here.
Yeah,
Is that a
that's
good
fine.
starting point? Okay, cool. So we're gonna check out some of the eclectic journalist video, her work in action here, you all. Make sure you guys go over to the eclectic journalist YouTube channel and subscribe to her channel. Show her some love and support. Shout out to Juju and to all my fantastic mods for dropping her YouTube channel link in the chat. There it is, there at the bottom of the screen for you all. And we're going to go ahead and get started on this. Not going to keep you guys too long, but we do want to show some love and support and give view. Hit that thumbs up when you go there and check out her great content on her YouTube channel. Let's get to this. Hit the 4 if you can see it here. Let's go.
Whether it's even just a small short or whatever, I link it in the description box. Try to get through this. Part 4, Candace Owens Undone, Our Friend Charlie. Parties implicated by her probe include but are not limited to the governments of Israel, Egypt, France, and the United States, various Jewish individuals, Turning Point USA, and Erica Kirk. All I remember about that day is that it was gray outside in Washington. It was sunny. It was sunny where I was. Sunny and hot. It was bright. Very bright. And it was gray inside my hotel room when the news arrived from an unfamiliar number. Charlie has been shot. The person behind the number I didn't recognize told me that they had a child in the crowd at the university in Utah where Charlie had arrived to address students that afternoon. Their child had seen it or heard it or knew enough to be certain that it had happened. I rushed to the council I stayed in close touch with throughout the day, 4 women who care about politics as intensely as they care about anything, united in a group chat with a funny name where just hours earlier I'd asked whether we were meeting for lunch downtown. My fingers shook as I typed the words still forming syntax inside my rattled headspace. Charlie Kirk shot? Question mark, question mark. I beg your pardon? Shot in the head, I'm hearing? I'm sorry, are you joking? Oh my God. Was he shot or was there just shots? I'm shaking. People aren't X say they saw it. I'm scared. Can we make sure this is real? He is my friend. Oh God, it's so bad. I'm literally sobbing. This is horrible. Oh my God, where was he shot? What part of his body? People are running is all I'm seeing. I refreshed the news feed over and over. I'm sick. Please, no, before clicking, this shows it. I don't know if I can watch it. Let me wait. I feel sick. I can't stop crying. I can't drive. Words and text were easy to stretch into doubt, but the scene on the video quickly proved inescapable. Charlie, beneath a shaded tent in a white shirt, collapsing after a single shot pierced his neck, blood pouring like a river out of him. The audience of 3,000 students, now 3 witnesses.
I'm gonna fast forward just a little bit because I see what you're saying, and I don't want anyone to be, I know it's traumatized. It's traumatic.
Yeah, we can start
Um,
where I start talking about Candace.
yeah,
'Cause
here we go.
I go into what she did that day or the next
Okay,
day.
here we go. All right, you all. We're gonna pick up here because I don't want you all to be, we all will be emotionally
Yeah,
charged, and I don't want
too
that.
late in the night for all that emotion.
Yeah. So you guys make sure you all check out this video. Let me drop the video link in the chat. When all of you all have time, um just be forewarned, there is sensitive information being relayed in the video, but please make sure you go and check out the video and support the eclectic journalist. Okay, go and support her because she put time into this. This is 2 hours. We're not going to get to all of it tonight, but I do want to get through a chunk of it just so you all can, enjoy the great content that she is putting out here and ask questions to the eclectic journalist. Ask questions throughout the chat, and I will read them as well once we get to a good stopping point. And in that way, you all can have some great dialogue with her. So let's get back to this. All right.
That she put out in the moments. I was very, I think it was like that night even. Let's go look at that, shall we?
That has never happened before. I guess we could say Charlie broke the internet one more time. 150,000 of you guys were watching, and the system just sort of crashed. And
now I don't know if that's even true. I never saw that. I wasn't watching it live, but I do remember watching this and thinking it was kind of weird. But I don't know.
It just really makes me happy that happened. Actually, it was already very difficult for me to do this for a lot of reasons.
Yeah,
but
it makes
I knew it was
me
important because
wonder.
I didn't want the last thing that people.
Go ahead.
It makes me wonder what was on the video because she said that other video went down. Like she starts this video off by saying, and so it makes me wonder and then she says, and I'm really glad it did. So I'm like, what was on
video
that
is she
video
referring to?
She was making another video about Charlie that I guess crashed or went down, she says. Like, I don't know. And then she's like, I didn't want your guys' last memory to be. Anyway, the whole thing is weird. And so it made me start wondering what was in that video. Like maybe she didn't have the right spin on it. Because when you watch this, she's already setting up everything in this video.
Yep.
Like,
and we did see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that one of the things that you can tell is that she's trying to force herself to be emotional. And it's so awkward to see that when she's able to look at videos of him being assassinated and not break one tear.
Or she actually have your voice get caught,
Yeah, she never quivers. Her voice never quivers. She never has a facial expression. She doesn't shed a tear. She doesn't display a modicum of emotion at all. And that's
until
not
the very end. The very end, she starts doing it right before she starts.
Yeah, and if you remember, the length of this video was like what 20-25 minutes or something like that. It's a little over 20 minutes. It wasn't a long one. And it's like most of the time she spends talking about memories and showing photos, but then it's right towards the end. It's like she had to take that whole time frame to build up to shed 2 tears. And it's like
they make fun of Erica because they're like, 6 days later she was in a Zoom meeting with her face like completely swollen. She did not look good in that Zoom meeting, and she's trying to pull herself together, and they're like, oh my gosh, yeah, this was the very next day that Candace made that video.
And she's got her makeup, hair done, pre-scripted, pre-recorded show, because once again, she's not a journalist. She can't wing it to save her life.
That Elizabeth Lane interview she did the other day, she said to Elizabeth that for days she was in like a ball crying and couldn't move. And I was like, that's a lie. She made this video. Like
exactly. This was the next day. God, Candace is such a liar. But the thing is, she's so bad at lying. She tells on herself, because if you just, like you said, you can remember things she said a month or two ago, and then she'll say something completely different about the same topic. It's like, ask her a question today and then ask the same question again 2 weeks from now. You will get 2 different answers. You will not get the same response. If she's lying, she's going to come up with a new answer every single time, as opposed to just repeating the lie. It's absurd the way she carries on, and people think that she's normal. And it's like, no, 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 no. There's nothing normal about biting your lower lip while you watch someone be assassinated.
Oh,
That
I
is
remember
disturbing.
that. That was
Yes,
so
you saw that.
weird. Yes, that
Yeah,
was weird.
yeah.
She was
Edie Marie did a
staring.
video on that.
Yes, and she was staring so intently, like, it was so
Yeah.
weird.
Girl, oh, so gross. So Candace is one of those ones where she's obsessed with the concept of death. She's obsessed with more like morbid thoughts. For her to come out talking about, oh, I had a vision, and someone who's deceased came and spoke to me in a dream. Of all the things to dream about, you're gonna dream still. You're still thinking morbidly, even when you
Yeah.
claim you're sleeping. Like it's still a morbid thought, and that seems to be her deep dark obsession. It's the concept that's why it doesn't bother her, you know, that she put so many people's lives in danger, or that there have been assassination attempts on people. Stuff like that. It's like she kind of crazed for that, because otherwise she doesn't know how to show emotions over the actual loss of life. And that's what makes her extraordinarily dangerous to me. And I've said this 1,000 times. I hope Erica Kirk gets a protection order, because
Yeah, and,
Candace is
um
dangerous.
she looks at everything through this lens. She has this worldview where she
Yep.
believes that she believes that the Frankists, which
Mm-hmm.
was this weird cult in like the 1800s, it like doesn't really exist anymore. But
Exactly.
she thinks it does, and she sees everything through the layer of this weird worldview where she believes like these
Mm-hmm.
Frankist occult members like are doing all this crazy, and it's really nasty stuff too. So she's always thinking
Yeah.
about that, and everything gets colored through this
Mm-hmm.
lens, you know?
Right.
So
Yeah. She is. People like her and Tyler Robinson would have a lot in common, because people who don't flinch at the aspect of someone losing their life will definitely do any and everything it takes for them to be satisfied or happy, even if it means going down this morbid, deep, dark, evil route to get to that point. Because you can tell it's written all over her face. She's more satisfied watching someone get shot than she is seeing someone naturally grieve the loss of their spouse. Like that's what's so disturbing about her. So, but we'll get back to this, and you guys make sure you ask your questions in the chat. We will be reading questions to the Eclectic Journalist soon. When we get to a good stopping point, let's get back to it.
People had in their minds about Charlie to be the moment he lost his life. That was what was especially hard, because he's just had so many amazing moments throughout his career. And as I was saying, I was having this discussion with George this morning, obviously through a lot of tears, about not wanting Charlie's caricature
Is this me?
to survive, when actual Charlie Kirk individual, who Charlie Kirk actually is so much more important. The caricature, the cartoon, is that Charlie's this young, smart guy, made a career out of debating college kids, decided not to go to college, started Turning Point USA. And I think a lot of people thought.
So I haven't watched this since I first did. This is going to be really weird, because then I wasn't paying attention, because I literally had no idea that everyone was going to go nuts and become crazy people. Like we've watched so many people do, just one by one falling off the bandwagon of sanity into complete nutso world. So I find this interesting, what she just said. I'm gonna rewind it.
Well, that has never happened before. I guess we could say Charlie broke the internet one more time. 150,000 of you guys were watching, and the system just sort of crashed. And it just really makes me happy that happened, actually. It was already very difficult for me to do this for a lot of reasons, but I knew it was important because I didn't want the last thing that people had in their minds about Charlie to be the moment he lost his life. That was what was especially hard.
Why would that be the last thing we had in our minds? That's
Right.
not the last thing I had in my mind. I was thinking about how much I cared about Charlie. But you know what I have in my mind now? Whenever I think about Charlie, I have all the stuff that Candace Owens has done. All the vile, nasty attacks, ridiculous, vile. I can't even put it into word. All this, the nastiness, the attacking, the smear campaigning, the lies, the attacking Charlie's friends and company and his very person by trying to rewrite his entire history. That's all I have in my head whenever I try to think about Charlie Kirk now because of what this woman has done. So I think it's really interesting that she said the last thing that she didn't want the last thing that we would have in our minds, Charlie Kirk dying. No, instead she wanted the last things to be in our minds when we think about Charlie Kirk is her and all of her nonsense.
Hard because he's just had so many amazing moments throughout his career. And as I was saying, I was having this discussion with George this morning, obviously through a lot of tears, about not wanting Charlie's caricature to survive when the actual Charlie Kirk individual, who Charlie Kirk actually is so much more important. The caricature, the cartoon, is that Charlie's this young, smart guy.
Okay, so everything she's about to...
And you know what I find so disturbing about this video, listening to it for a second time for me as well, is her referring to him as some sort of cartoon character. He was a real person.
I know.
You got to remember, this is all PR for Candace. All of this is about public relations and court of public opinion for her. She doesn't care how she is even describing Charlie. She's describing him as a cartoon character, not as a real person. And it takes away the realism in how she handles this whole thing. She's handling this like it's a cartoon show, except more dark and demonic.
What she's saying is that we're treating him like a caricature. She's like, I don't want his memory treated like a caricature. And the memory people have is that he's a smart guy that built Turning Point USA and went to college campuses. And I pause it here because I'm like, that is who like she's saying who he was a caricature. That's like what she's doing, you know?
Right. Exactly. It's projection. It's all everything she accuses everyone else of doing. She never says who these people or who they are. So it, instantly that makes you believe that this is her projecting, because no one is saying that. No one has used the term caricature or cartoon or anything when it comes to Charlie Kirk for those that supported him, followed him, that loved him, that considered him a friend, for his wife that loved him as a husband and a father to their children. No one is out here that claims to be close to him, that claims they loved him and supported him, calling him a cartoon, except her. She is the only person that claims to have had some positive relationship with Charlie Kirk, calling him a cartoon character. No one else has said that. Even people who did not directly agree on everything he said and did. No, I have never heard anyone refer to him as a cartoon, except her. I mean, she's like a 14-year-old, a child right now. And my 14-year-old would have more respect for this than she's having the aspect of someone losing their life. My children know to have more respect for someone that lost their life than Candace Owens. And she's supposed to be what, 30-something? 35, 36? She has the mentality of an immature, spoiled brat. And we're definitely going to have to do a deep dive on this video here, because you're pointing out a lot that watching the second time around, it just solidifies a lot of things about her.
Yeah, as you go through this, the things she highlights, like she highlights Charlie liking this other girl, and that's her memory of him. Then she highlights this girl that like was mean to her, like, or said she didn't want to be on the stage with her or something. And I'm like, why are you bringing that up? And then she highlights just weird stuff that you're like, okay, in Israel, like somehow she knew that Charlie Kirk was turning his mind around on Israel, this whole thing that they've made up, that day. The very next day, somehow she knew that already because she mentions it in this video, which is like, how did you know that? How did you know that? So yeah.
Well, we'll have to definitely do a deep dive here in the LLC on this particular video, because now that we've seen 8 months of her destruction and damage and what looks like a scorned woman that was in love with him, this video here hits different now. It hits different. I think we can all agree. This video hits different. Seeing what she has said in other videos and other interviews with other podcasters, especially the latest one she did with this Elizabeth lady, where she puts it out there that he was a virgin till he got married. Like things like that you would not do if you loved and respected someone. You would never divulge information like that. So
yeah, why would you be talking about their sex life at all?
Exactly. Like why do you even know about it? Unless you have asked him questions to the point where, and I highly doubt he would answer something like that, you know, out the gate. Like if she asked one question about, hey, are you still a virgin? Like, I don't think he would have just told her yes or no right away. I mean, it's nothing wrong with being a virgin till you get married. But why did she feel the need to divulge that information? It's still private. And it had nothing to do with her because he wasn't trying to be with her. So it's like, why do you care? I mean, the idea that she even knows about, you know, him being a virgin is disturbing. Because even with someone you consider a brother, I've never asked my brother, you know, did you lose your virginity? Like, what? No, I don't care. Like that's such an awkward thing to ask someone. You claim it's like a brother to you. It's just certain questions you would never ask your brother. Does that make sense? You're not gonna ask your baby brother, have you lost your virginity? No one does that. My siblings have never asked me that, and we're all, you know, I have 2 sisters too. They've never asked me something like that. Like that's an awkward question to ask for somebody you claim to be a sibling.
The reason they're bringing that up now is because they're trying to make it seem like Erica Kirk preyed on him because she was older than him, and he wasn't wise in those ways, like Candace said, and that she then, you know, captured him, right, with her female Christian ways, right, and he didn't really know what he was getting into, you know what I mean? So now they're trying, because so that's why they're saying he was a virgin and she was experienced and older than him. It's sick, you know. It's like,
yeah, it's disgusting. So we'll deal.
I just have no words.
Me either. I was speechless going over that clip yesterday, and so, but this will definitely be something we'll have to add to the lineup to revisit this. This her so-called, to my friend Charlie Kirk. Yeah, we'll revisit that this week. But let's get back to it, y'all.
About off here is not the caricature. That's actually Charlie. He was a young, smart guy who built a company that did amazing things. She's like repeating things that he actually is. That's not a caricature.
Career out of debating college kids, decided not to go to college, started Turning Point USA. And I think a lot of people thought that Charlie must take himself a bit too seriously. And I want you guys to know that that could not be further from the truth. Charlie and me were always...
Nobody thought that. Literally, nobody thought that, Candace.
No one.
Laughing. Yes, he was ambitious. Everybody knows Charlie's ambitious. I met him back in 2017 when Turning Point was this very young organization. Nobody knew who I was. Nobody knew who Charlie Kirk was. And Charlie would always wear these really baggy suits. I mean, they looked like they were hand-me-downs from 3 generations because he was focused on the ideas. He didn't care about his appearance.
Am I frozen?
He was laser focused on what he knew Turning Point could become. Not could become, but would become. He hired me on the spot. We were at this conference in Florida, and he and I used to always say, we never said the rest was history. You know, the rest is history. We say the rest is future. We were totally locked in, and I want you guys to know about our first planning sesh. Okay, it was in the middle of Chicago O'Hare Airport. There is this restaurant that's called the Macaroni Grill, and I sat down with Charlie on our first trip together. He flips over this little paper menu as we're waiting for our flight, and he takes out this pen and he just starts drawing a map of what he wants to happen into the future, what the Turning Point organization will become. It was spastic. It was unhinged. It was the absolute best. It was true Charlie. He was a visionary. Charlie was a visionary. If he could envision it, it was going to happen. He knew that. I knew that. And what he had envisioned was for Turning Point USA to become the biggest conservative student organization, not just in the nation, by the way, but in the world. He kind of squabbled and swiveled and wrote that the structure is currently a 501c3. He's sitting there talking to me, but here's what we can do in the future. And here's how, and then I'm going to probably take control of the RNC. I mean, he's 23 years old, right? And he's speaking to me about how he's going to take over the RNC. The person that he adored the most, like really, and never in a million years, he think that he was going to meet him. And of course he did, was Rush Limbaugh. He was really raised on Rush Limbaugh, listening to Rush Limbaugh day in and day out. And he told me through many conversations that if he could have a show like Rush Limbaugh one day, he would be very happy. That was, I think, his ultimate goal. And it happened. We had a bunch of rules. Charlie's rule was never say no to Fox News. So even if the show was at 4 a.m. in the morning, crack of dawn, I cannot tell you guys how many hits we did on Fox News. I'm talking 4 hits a day, up at 4 a.m. for Fox and Friends first, and then doing whatever the evening program was, because he believed this is the way that we're going to get our names out there. You know, we have to work harder.
Is this me where I'm freezing? Are you all able to see or hear me at all? Let me see here. I'm gonna refresh this right quick. Don't go anywhere, you all. I apologize. I didn't know. I'm seeing you all's comments where it says that I was frozen. Am I still frozen? I don't know if it's me, my internet. You guys know I was almost 30 minutes late because my internet went out. I really hope it's not messing up. Hit the 4 if you can see and hear me, or if I'm, I just want to make sure I'm not still frozen. Hold on 1 second. Let me reconnect. This is a great video. Oh, man. And a very good idea to definitely revisit this original video she did, her response. I am frozen. Oh, boy. Well, it's time to get a new camera. All right. If you guys can hear me, that's fine. If you can still hear me if I'm frozen, please let me know. I really don't want to have to restart my laptop again. Not now. Y'all see how it goes when I have guests? Oh, my God. All right. It's time to get a new camera. I got to fundraise for that. Can't make this up. All right. Cool. If y'all can hear me, that's okay. That's all good. All right, let's get back to it, because I know she has Eclectic journalist has some kids. She got to check on her baby. So let's get back to this.
My rule was I was like, we shouldn't drink. Everybody in politics is drinking. They're drunk all the time. If we're passionate, we have to understand that it's a disadvantage. People are always made weaker. It doesn't make anybody stronger to be drunk after an event. And so we didn't drink. And we had a couple of mottos, but Charlie's was, we can always outwork our opponents. I can't tell you how many times we looked at each other and we said, we can outwork them. Everyone was bigger than us, but not working harder than us. It came really directly from Charlie. It was the thing that he said we could always control. And I totally agreed with that. Work ethic meant everything. I think it's very obvious to everyone. I was the culture. Charlie was the politics. Charlie needed a little bit more culture. I needed to learn the rules of politics. I mean, he could tell you every office in the White House and what this person does, things I'd never even heard before. I was just passionate about Black Lives Matter. I knew it was going to be harmful for Black Americans. And I wanted to share that message. And Charlie showed me how to do that in the best way possible. I learned very quickly with Charlie that politics breeds unnecessary enemies. It is incredibly, it's disheartening industry. You know, you're lucky if you have one friend. You're lucky if you have two friends. There are so many people that will test your character along the way. Like I said, I was a nobody. It was funny going through text messages yesterday, and I'm like, Charlie, my goal is to have 50,000 followers on Instagram. I think we can do it by the end of the year. And after he hired me, he had been working already really hard on doing this campus tour throughout California. He called it the Big Three: UCLA, we're going to do Stanford, we're going to do Berkeley. And there was somebody who was a lot bigger than me at the time who was going to be kind of the face of it. Because like I said, people were not going to buy tickets to hear me and Charlie Kirk speak. And he had someone that they definitely would hear speak. And for whatever reason, and this was just my luck, Charlie was pumping gas. He was inside of the gas station, and I'm sitting in the car, and I see this person, his phone is sitting in the car, and the messages are lighting up on the screen, and this individual saying, I don't want to do this event with that new girl.
I literally have no memory of any of this. I know I watched this. This is the one, right? Or did that go away? Did she delete that? and put up a different one? I'm so confused now. I feel like I remember her saying the one that I watched that it was down, that it went away. So now I'm like really confused.
I don't want to do this event with that new girl you hired. Like, I don't want to share the stage with her, essentially. Just mean. I mean, just mean-spirited, no reason. I'm bigger than her. I should do.
Did she just say, I'm just mean-spirited?
The
Did I
girl
hear that?
she's talking, whoever she's talking about, she's saying was being mean-spirited by not wanting to share the stage with her.
What?
Yeah, so she saw there was a person that was going to be speaking with them that was a woman, and she's making all this up maybe. I don't even know if it's true, but
Oh my
she says she
God.
saw messages while Charlie was pumping gas. She saw messages on his phone from that woman saying she didn't want to share a stage with Candace. This is the memory she's bringing up in his memorial show for him that she's doing, you know.
This is, I mean, I've only seen this once. So forgive
I
me,
know,
guys,
neither.
if it sounds like it's new to me, because it's been 8 months. I've
I
only
don't.
seen this once.
I think I was so out of it when I watched this in grief for Charlie. I had no idea what was going on because I barely
What?
remembered it either. Yeah.
This is unbelievable. It's kind of like her with the interview she did, saying that he had this girlfriend, someone he was dating before Erica Kirk, and she was texting her on his behalf for 12 months as if he's not old enough to handle himself. That's this is the things that she comes up
And
with
she
is
became her
disturbing.
friend and invited her to her wedding, right?
I mean, who
So
does? It's like it's kind of like the old adage, keep your friends close but your enemies closer. I think any woman that Charlie Kirk married, if it was not Candace Owens, she would be doing the same thing. She sees any other woman in his life as a threat. I wonder how she sees his mother. But if it's like a love interest, Candace Owens saw any love interest in Charlie Kirk's life as a threat to her, as an enemy to her. And then you come out, Candace, and say that you were texting one of his former girlfriends, one of his ex-girlfriends, for 12 months, to the point where, and her analogy is, I had to become a lesbian. What are you talking? Who says stuff like that?
and that
Who
Erica
says
was
that?
the rebound, right? She's saying all
Right.
that to say Erica was just like a second afterthought. Charlie, was just thinking about dating her to, make this other girl jealous and stuff, which is
Mhm.
completely contradictory to what he said and how they met and everything. Like,
Thank you. It's like this man knows how they met. Let's not forget, Erica Kirk was a beauty pageant. Was it Miss Arizona?
yeah,
She wasn't. It wasn't like Miss America. It was like Miss whatever state, right? Was it Miss that or Miss Texas or something like that?
it was
She won.
Arizona. Yeah.
It was Arizona. Okay, she was Miss Arizona. Like, you don't think he could carry himself well and handle himself when he is quite capable of having a relationship with someone who became Miss Arizona? And Erica Kirk is a beautiful girl. We're not gonna shortchange on her. She's a very pretty girl.
Yep.
And she's also smart. She also has, things going for herself. So if let's say she never married Charlie Kirk, never met him, she would not have been some broke down bum either. She actually went to school, has doesn't she have her own business of some sort?
She has a
She has
couple of businesses and
yeah,
she has like a PhD, I think.
this this girl is brilliant. And I said this in the last live stream. I was shocked when I saw her resume. I don't remember every detail of it, but I know she has great education and she at least had one business. And she would not have been just lost in the sauce in space if she would have never met and married Charlie Kirk. So he knew what he was doing when he, met her and felt this was the one for him to marry. It's like either you're giving him credit for being able to pick good people in his life, or you're not giving him any credit. And somehow Candace feels like she had to have a whole relationship via text message with one of his former ex-girlfriends for 12
Like it,
months.
but we don't even know if that's true because I literally
Exactly.
believe
It's
nothing
like
she says.
me
Like,
either. It's like, why say something like that? I think that's what I'm getting at here. That's what I'm trying to express here.
yeah,
Why
it's
make
crazy.
these types of statements? It's so stupid.
Yeah,
Oh my
and
god.
she's all the way like Elizabeth Lane asked her, she said, "So if it turns out that Erica Kirk is innocent in all this, will you feel sorry? Will you apologize?" And then she's like, "Oh, I'll just have more questions." So then there'll just be
Oh
more
god.
series about Erica about how like how did if you weren't involved, why did you do all this weird stuff that I've made up in my mind? Um
I know,
so
right? All the lies that don't exist, and then calling for her to be arrested, to go, sit down somewhere quietly, as if Candace gets to control her. Stalking is bad enough, Candice. It's a felony. But to think you get to control her actions in her life, no, girl. No, absolutely not. That's disturbing beyond words for her to make those types of statements, knowing Erica Kirk already had basically a target on her back and was receiving death threats before
yeah.
Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Then you got Candace out here admitting to having eyes and ears everywhere she goes, always listening, having direct sources, contacts in her residential building, and basically admitted to stalking this woman and tried to pass it off on an Egyptian plane. If people didn't pick up at that time that Candice once again was projecting, and she's the one that's stalking Erica Kirk and Charlie Kirk and knew wherever they went, all these so-called data points. No, Candace was stalking them. And she tried to blame innocent Egyptian planes for this. She tried to blame it on two innocent Egyptian planes because she has been the one stalking them all this time. Knowing
No, I
wherever they are, what they're doing, Candace has been stalking them ever since she got fired.
I couldn't believe that she brought up the Egyptian planes again in that interview too. I was like, "Are you serious?
Oh,
Like, I can't believe you would mention them again. Are you
oh
crazy?"
God. All of Egypt is going to be forced to respond to Candace because they're sick of her blaming two planes that came from their country on anything. And that's if the planes are even real. Once again,
Oh, I
Candace,
know,
this is what happens to a
but
pathological liar.
they're upset with Erica because Erica didn't take the plane thing seriously. Like, she didn't take the Egyptian plane seriously. She should have been calling the FBI and, you know,
It's
all this
crazy.
stuff. So,
Yeah, like
yeah.
man, if and this is why myself included, so many people agreed that Erica Kirk should have never went to Tennessee.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, unless she plans on using that trip to justify proving malice intent in a lawsuit against Candice, that going out there and catering to her did nothing but make it worse. And I say that because Candice will never be satisfied as long as her narrative is making her money. She will never accept the truth for what it is. So there's nothing you can say to make her happy or to please her. She's just going to take that and use it as content and make more videos with it. She will keep this thing going for all of eternity until hell freezes over if she has to. So going out there did nothing but try to it's like she's trying to weaponize what was said to make it seem as if Erica Kirk lied to her face. We don't know what Erica Kirk said. We haven't
Yeah,
seen the
and
video of this meeting, so we have no idea what they discussed at all because it wasn't recorded.
If Erica went there and showed her legitimate and credible information to prove the thing she's saying was wrong, and then she kept doing it though, then I'm pretty sure that would bolster a lawsuit. So maybe
Right,
that was the plan. But
right.
it yeah.
I hope so. I really hope so. Y'all, let's get back to this. Like I said, we're not gonna hold you all too long. Make sure you guys are dropping some questions for the eclectic journalist at the end of this. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Hit that like button. Let's get back to it.
Messages yesterday, and I'm like, Charlie, my goal is to have 50,000 followers on Instagram. I think we can do it by the end of the year. And after he hired me, he had been working already really hard on doing this campus tour throughout California. He called it the Big Three: UCLA, we're going to do Stanford, we're going to do Berkeley. And there was somebody who was a lot bigger than me at the time who was going to be kind of the face of it. Because like I said, people were not going to buy tickets to hear me and Charlie Kirk speak. And he had someone that they definitely would hear speak. And for whatever reason, and this was just my luck, Charlie was pumping gas. He was inside of the gas station, and I'm sitting in the car, and I see this person, his phone is sitting in the car, and the messages are lighting up on the screen, and this individual saying, I don't want to do this event with that new girl.
I literally have no memory of any of this. I know I watched this. This is the one, right? Or
This
did
is
that
the
go away?
only
Did
time
she
she said
delete that and put up a different one? I'm so confused now. I feel like I remember her saying the one that I watched that it was down, that it went away. So now I'm like really confused.
I don't want to do this event with that new girl you hired. Like, I don't want to share the stage with her, essentially. Just mean. I mean, just mean-spirited, no reason. I'm bigger than her. I should do this by myself. And then if she wants to come on.
Why are you bringing this up? Like, do you see what I'm saying? This, I had to rewind it, but this is weird.
it is.
This is a memorial show for Charlie, and you're bringing up some nasty, like, stupid thing that doesn't mean anything in the long run of where she is now and everything. She's bringing up this moment.
And being auxiliary, that's fine. But I don't want to share the stage with her, this newbie. I remember Charlie gets in the car, and he looks at the message, and he looks at me, and he knows I've looked at the message. I saw it. I'm like, Charlie, I said, I have no idea like where this is.
Pause. So she just admitted that she looked at the messages from his phone. The question
Yeah.
is, why are you in this man's phone? And he was not your boyfriend, your husband, your father, you're nobody. He's not your, caregiver, caretaker, whatever. Why do you feel that you had the right and audacity to look in his phone? What kind of nonsense is this? How often do you hear someone say, yeah, I was checking the messages in my boss' phone? Girl, you were just an employee, Candace. You only worked for him for 19 months. Did y'all peep that she said he hired me? She didn't build anything. He hired her as an employee. Period.
Yeah, she uses this story to then say, and that's when I told Charlie, you got to make sure you do things the right way. We got to do this the right way starting out. And he did the right thing because I told him. You know what I mean? So everything
Right.
has to be like, I did this. Charlie, is on the right path because I was there. You know what I mean? Like it's so
Mhm.
it's so narcissistically crazy. Can you imagine doing this at like your friends, like say you're giving a speech at like your friend's memorial like service, and you're just going off about all this like weird stuff, and it all goes back to like you, like,
Mhm. Yeah, and that's the whole that's what the narcissism comes into play here. Even in a horrible way to go out in front of national, public audience, thousands of millions of people. She turns around and makes this about herself. It's the narcissism of it all. It's like, yeah, he was assassinated, but I was looking at his phone, and there was this girl texting him saying she didn't want to work with me, but she didn't have to. Candace has this grandiose mentality where she thinks that people owe her something. No one owes you a damn thing, Candace. No one. No one owes you anything. And I believe that's what Charlie Kirk got hip to leading up to her being fired. I think he realized as soon as he could, rather, because she worked for him for 19 months. I think he realized at some point, I'm going to have to let this girl go because this woman is crazy. And we're
Yeah.
talking about basic instinct type crazy, boiling bunny rabbits and pots and stuff. That level of crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hate
I
to use
can't
that
imagine.
analogy, but it's,
I
God.
can't imagine she made it easy for him to work with other people, like make coalition. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Yeah. And to get mad and upset talking about somebody doesn't want to work with you and share the stage with you. Well, guess what? They don't have to, Candace. They don't owe you that. They don't have to share a stage with you. But yet, once again, like you said, this is supposed to be some sort of a memoriam type of video where you're paying homage and respect to someone that was assassinated in front of thousands of people at an event. And yet, what you're talking about is basically you admitting to going through his phone, probably without his knowledge or permission. Also, that you can sit here and say, oh, this female who is she talking about, by the way? What's this female's name?
she never says. She just says that it was somebody big, that her and Charlie were nobody, and nobody would have came and bought tickets. So they had this girl that was going to travel with them and be on the stage, and that we would all know her name. But she said she didn't want to be on the stage directly with Candace because Candace was, just a noob, like, or whatever. So the lady, if this is a true story, the lady probably thought it might be weird or confusing for who, if
Right.
she was like a way bigger person to be on the stage with Candace. And so anyway, she never says who it is. So it's a female conservative that we all would have known back in 2017.
And that's the whole thing. It's like she makes these statements where if it comes down to it and you're trying to vet this information, it's almost like, let me say something that would be very, 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 very difficult for anyone to prove or vet at this point because Charlie Kirk is not here to defend himself. So for her to even, it's like you making up this fictitious person. Who could you quite possibly be talking about? And why in this video you're admitting that you went through his phone? That's obsessive. And it's oh man, it's so dark. But oh gosh, she's such a demon.
Who's that blonde girl? Maybe the chat knows. That blonde conservative, Tori Lomi. It could have been Tony. Is it Tony Lomi? Lomi? Does anybody
Tori,
know?
you know her how to spell her last name?
Tomi, because Candace in my series, she had a problem with that woman. And so it gets brought up in the early part of my series because in 2017, she attacked her and stuff. And she's like a blonde conservative woman. I thought it could be her. Tomi Lauren. Tomi.
Oh, okay.
Lauren.
I thought it was Lauren Tomlin. It's not Tomlin. Yeah, okay. Tommy, there you go. Tommy Lauren. Yeah, okay. Now that makes sense because she still can't stand Candace.
Right.
I think people can snip out the BS, when it comes down to it. And we women have a good sense of, judge a character like this. That's why Erica Kirk don't fool with her. Why should she?
Well, I imagine whoever it was blonde. So that's why I'm thinking Tomi Lauren, because Candace hates blondes. Like,
Yeah.
So
she hates everybody. You can't, man, this is crazy. All right, y'all, let's get back to it. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I promise you all, we will not hold you all forever, but we're definitely going to have to revisit this video that she did because this is, it's even more disturbing hearing it again now.
Obviously, I understand that the sensible you doesn't want to lose this person on the ticket, that this means a lot to you and you've worked hard on it, but you're going to have to learn that you have to make the right decision and not the easy decision. And this is only going to work if we keep making the right decisions, And I could just see the struggle within him. And then he did the right thing. He said, okay, if you don't want to do this event with this newbie Candace, then we're not going to do the event. And Candace and I will do it alone. And we did. We went at it alone. Actually, I think for that particular event, Dave Rubin hopped on and the rest was future. For 2 years straight, Charlie and I flew around the world together on very little sleep. We were always exhausted. I'm not kidding. We took hundreds of flights together. We slept in the crappiest hotel rooms. I mean, walls so paper thin. You just hear everything. And when you're in that capacity with someone 2 years straight, just traveling nonstop, you really get to know them. You really.
Was it 2 years straight?
Oh my God. This is furthermore proof of her obsession. She's using this whole thing. You were his employee. He was your boss, not your boyfriend. And I don't believe that, like I said yesterday about this so-called ex she claims she texted for 12 months. Personally, I believe Candace interfered with any type of relationship or any semblance of another woman coming into Charlie Kirk's life for 19 months. I think she ruined every single relationship he could have had with any female, whether it be personal or professional. Because she is so obsessed and so jealous and envious and possessive, she wanted Charlie Kirk to herself. So I think the idea that another female that has a larger platform, that if it's Lori Tomlin, she's a pretty girl too. Anyone that was a complete threat to her, it's in my opinion, she sabotaged any hope or chance of Charlie Kirk being around another woman, unless it was his mother. She just interfered. I don't think that it went down. I think she probably, once again, was texting this girl, saying all kinds of nonsense. And of course, who would want to get on the stage with her? Especially now we know what we see and hear coming from her. Can you blame the girl for not wanting to share the stage with her?
Yeah, well, Tommy Lauren has never liked her from the very beginning.
Yeah, I don't blame her.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't blame her. I mean, it's, look how despicable she is. In this video, she couldn't even stay focused on Charlie Kirk and his life and events, not anything that involved her. She took this whole opportunity to talk about what they had together and invoked herself into this, as opposed to just focused on him and who he was. That's
Look
what's
at
so
her
crazy.
face.
It's so disgusting. She's smiling.
Look at her. Yeah, look at her face. Look how happy she looks. Do you see that?
Yeah. You think she would be crying? You've been
Isn't
crying
that
for days.
crazy?
You can miss a tear? Exactly. I mean, you sitting here crying for days. Even to the point, and she said this in one of her episodes, felt like she was being a bad mom because she was neglecting her kids because she was so upset of Charlie Kirk's death, to the point where she could not even effectively care for her children. She said that out of her mouth in a whole pre-scripted, pre-recorded video. What do you mean you couldn't care for your kids? And now you're talking about you feel like you were being a bad mom? And yet when you have the opportunity to show any level of emotions or vulnerability or anything, empathy, sympathy, compassion, love, respect, this is how you handle this, Candace. This is your response. When you have the golden opportunity to show people how you genuinely feel, this is what you come up with for all of 23 minutes? This is what she got. This was the best she could do. And still did not go to his funeral. I mean, she could have went to his memorial service. But Candace doesn't care. She sees this as a PR stunt. This is all a joke for her. And it's so disgusting. Let's get back to it, y'all.
Was it actually? Let's make sure that that's even correct. Okay, so how many years precisely did Candace work for Turning Point? Approximately 1 year and 5 to 6 months, from late November 2017 to early May 2019. On November 21st, 2017, so basically at the end of the year, Turning Point founder Charlie Kirk announced Candace's departure. She announced her resignation on May 1st, 2019. That roughly spans 1 year, 5 months, and 10 days. Okay, so not even 2 years. I said, were they traveling together constantly during that entire time? No, not constantly every day for the full 17 months. They traveled together frequently, especially during major speaking tours in 2018 and early 2019. Campus Clash Tour main joint activity started around fall 2018. They co-headlined a multi-stop national campus speaking tour for Turning Point USA. It included stops at places like University of Washington, Cornell, Montana State, Liberty University, and others throughout late 2018 into 2019. Reports describe them crisscrossing the country for these events over roughly the last 1 to 2 years of her tenure. They appeared together at many campus events, rallies, and TPUSA functions. University of Hawaii, May 18th, California campuses, etc. Contemporaneous accounts and later recollections note they traveled together a lot in the early years of her role, building a close working relationship. Not 24/7 or the entire period. Her tenure ran from 2017 in November to May 2019. The heavy joint touring seems to be concentrated in 2018, early 2019. There's no evidence of nonstop daily travel. Like most roles, this likely included office work, individual appearances, media planning, and downtime. TPUSA is headquartered in Arizona, and events were episodic rather than perpetual road life.
Exactly.
Shocking. Of course, she's over embellishing.
As always.
Why would she not? Right?
You see them in every
Fine. What's
condition. You start
bad
bickering like an old married couple. Charlie, this is not how you pack a suitcase. I say to him, Charlie, you can't just like put your dirty running shoes on top of your clean shirts. Okay. You just can't do that. Charlie, you need to eat something. Okay. You're running on fumes. You got to eat something. And this is not a full meal. Back, forth. Charlie, you got to buy yourself some suits that fit. That conversation. I was like, Charlie, okay, I get it. You're like boy wonder. You got to buy some suits that fit. I wasn't the only one that was hammering him on that. It was also Don Jr. And eventually him, and I think it was actually him and Eric. You're like, Charlie, I know you're very frugal. We know that you're very aware that your salary comes from donors. He always wanted to be a really good steward.
Nobody knows who they
capital,
are, but somehow Don Jr. knows who they are.
Exactly.
Okay, did you catch that? John Jr. bought him some suits. But just a few minutes ago, she said, nobody even knew who we were. You know, nobody knew Charlie. Nobody knew me.
Exactly. Lying as usual from one statement to another. This is, man, the hypocrisy of it all and the wordplay with this is beyond comprehension. This is why I take Candace's words as she delivers them, based on the definitions of the terms. Like, I don't even try to read between the lines with her, because Candace lies so much. She can lie from one statement to another statement within 16 seconds. That is how horrible. And if you're listening, you can pick it up. This girl, oh my God.
Look at my face, like the entire time I'm watching this. I'm just like not having it at all.
This dumb heifer. Listen, I don't always come on camera, and I'm, in case anybody's wondering, I'm shutting off my camera, interchangeably, because I'm being told that I keep freezing up. So I just kind of shut the camera off for a minute, let it reset or catch up or whatever. But this dumb heifer right here is, it's even with the traveling all over the place. She admitted that she used Charlie Kirk's credit card to go to UK, where she claims she just kind of instantly met George Farmer, as if they were not already introduced to each other by John Mappin. The lines like that, where it's an extreme contrast. You didn't just go to UK and just God told George Farmer to get up and just come to you, and 18 days later propose to you over Zoom. You already have posts where you admitted that you were introduced to him before you went to the UK. And she used Charlie Kirk's credit card to book a flight. Did she even give them that money back? And she acknowledged that their income, the revenue, comes from donations and contributions. It's a nonprofit organization. And here she is 8 months later telling people to get their refunds for any donations you've given to TPUSA. Candace has advocated for people to get refunds, knowing that their revenue as a nonprofit comes from donors and contributions. So her saying that in this video, you can tell now it doesn't make, why would you go out your way to tell people to get a refund when you know that's how they make their money? But she doesn't care. She'd rather see it fall apart and that they go out broke because she cannot be the next CEO.
Well, she's one to talk about refunds because I don't think she's ever refunded all the people who bought for her tickets when she was supposed to be in Australia speaking, and then she got
Exactly.
banned from the country. I don't think any
Yep.
of those people got their refunds back yet. So,
Yep.
I mean,
yeah, not at all. Not at all. The promoter declared insolvency. He had to declare bankrupt, as opposed to her at least making him whole and trying to get as many refunds out as possible. Well, that's not our fault. Y'all have to call Ticketmaster, whatever they use to sell the tickets. And it's like, no, she needs to give back refunds because Candace knew she had not secured a visa before that event was even booked. She knew she did not have a visa secured. And you can't force a country to let you come over there. And I'm glad they didn't, because look how horrible she is. She has people catching death threats. I wouldn't want her to come to my country either. Nah, you keep all that over there, girl. Don't come over here. All this nonsense she brings with her, I wouldn't want her either. Australia is showing everybody else how it's done. God. But you would think she would refund those tickets. This is the extent of how much Candace cares. She doesn't. This is all a PR stunt. She's a pathological liar, a narcissistic cult leader with no soul, who sits and mocks God with some slogan or expression she could care less about. But yet, Candace will never quote a scripture or say a prayer at all in any video whatsoever. You would think she would have taken the time to pray for Charlie Kirk, his family, their loss and their grief in this video. You think she would take 5 minutes to say a good prayer. But you let the cult members tell it. Christ is king. Can't make this up. Let's get back to it, y'all.
Eventually, Don and Eric got him a gift certificate, I think it was for his birthday, to a fancy suit place to go get fitted. And the rest is future, right? It is so important for me to make sure that you guys understand how absolutely hilarious Charlie was. Charlie was hilarious. Okay. He did not take himself too seriously. He was so good at doing imitations and accents. Anybody, any imitation, any accent, he was just on the money. And all we did was laugh. It's all you can do and laugh. People were just so crazy all the time. I was reading through the chat today. I was just laughing with just tears in my eyes, thinking of the many road trips that we took, so many hours spent just talking trash to one another, making fun of one another. One of the best moments that I can think of, and there's so many to choose from, was we were driving through Colorado, and I put on a Kanye song, on my playlist, and Charlie goes, "Is this Jay-Z?"
Bringing up Kanye.
Oh my God.
And as if Charlie didn't know who he was. I mean, I don't, looking back, I believe nothing she says now.
Me either.
You know what I mean?
I almost made him pull over the vehicle. I was like, "Are you kidding me? I understand that you don't do culture, but come on. You don't know the difference between Jay-Z and Kanye." And he didn't. And I explained to him the difference. I was like, "Okay, no, you got to."
Okay, like Charlie was younger than me, right? And I listened to Jay-Z when I was young, when I was little. He's on the radio. I mean, people, who Jay-Z is, right? I don't know, man.
Got to get into some Kanye West music. Next thing you know, Charlie's really getting into some Kanye West music. He's running 10 miles a day. He got really into running. And he's texting me about how great it is. Like there's this text, Charlie. He's like, "Yes, it's my new favorite song." And he just loved it. Kanye's Power kind of became our theme song for the tour. I have no idea why, but that was our hype song before we went on stage.
Also, like, I think it's weird that she's sharing their private text messages.
It's definitely weird. And I have a question, Eclectic Journals. If you can recall, before Candace started working for TPUSA, Did she ever dote and brag on Kanye West before that point? Before he
Yeah.
sent that tweet out that helped to blow her up? Did she
Uh, y-
ever just obsess over Kanye West like this?
well, I don't know if she was super obsessed, but she did write in one of her 180, the Degree 180 blog she had
Mhm.
before when she had Social Autopsy and all that. She wrote an article and she said that she was the female version of Kanye West.
But she's only referenced him like one time before TPUSA. Before before Kanye sent the tweet out
Well, that's the only
about
one I
her.
know about. There could have been more. I just know that she did write a whole article about him and how, like, she admired him and that she was the female Kanye West.
But she can't rap. Candace, you can't rap. How are you the female version? And
Well,
I'm
I
not even
think
a Kanye fan like that, but why are
I
you
think
comparing yourself to somebody like Kanye West? Like
I
you're trying to be the female version of something you can't do?
I think she wanted to wear his skin, Lady Luck. It was like, it puts the lotion on the skin, you know?
Yeah, it's like an awkward thing to say, I'm the female version of Kanye West. Oh, really? Do you rap? Candace would not know what an entendre is if you smacked her in the face with it. Like, this girl would not know how to understand what biology is, or you know how to put a rap together. Like this, how do you come about comparing yourself to Kanye West and not someone in your field, at least, that does the same thing you do? Like that's
I
the
think
odd
she meant like
comparison.
his personality, which is also weird because he does like a lot of really weird stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he does,
Um,
child.
so
Yeah.
uh yeah.
I'm just shocked. Like if anyone knows, if you have any videos or anything where she kind of consistently brags on Kanye West, because if that's the only time you've heard, I'm believing that she's only bragging about Kanye West because he helped her to blow up basically by sending that one tweet. And I don't think she had ever talked to him prior to that. I don't think
Yeah,
she really
she
ever cared about Kanye West until he sent that tweet.
yeah, she uses his name all the time to give herself legitimacy, and she even has
Mhm.
him in her like intro to her show.
Right. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I don't think he ever envisioned her getting to this point where she still won't talk about him apologizing to a Jewish rabbi, and yet she's still blaming the Jews for Charlie Kirk's assassination. Like she hasn't even talked to Kanye West, and for her to
Yeah,
keep name dropping him is crazy.
she would brought him up in that interview, and she brought up the whole like how he fought back against the Jews and whatever, and then
Mhm.
she as if he hasn't apologized and said he was going through like a mental health crisis at that time.
Yeah, yeah,
He completely
e-
skips over all that.
exactly. And I've never heard or seen anything where she came out so adamant about Kanye West before he made her go viral. Like that, I'm just, I could be wrong. Like I said, if there are videos and stuff where she kind of just brags on him like this prior to that tweet going out, please send it to me. Email it to me at Lady Luck Club LLC at Yahoo. Because I'm curious to know now, had Kanye West not sent that tweet, would she even be talking about him like this?
Oh, I
Like,
think
would
so,
your
because
favorite song be Power?
I think she's obsessed with him too. Like, I feel like she's obsessed with Kanye West, and I feel like she was
Mhm.
obsessed with him before she even met Charlie. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's crazy. But
And that's probably why he stays away from her. He probably realized that, like, quickly, that
oh
she
yeah,
was, you know, something
crazy.
wasn't right, and so
Yeah.
he stays away from her now, you know?
Yep.
They
Wasn't
tried
even
they
mentioned.
tried to scam him. They tried to steal, like, a bunch of money from him, her and George,
Yep.
because they tried to get him underhandedly to buy Parler, which would have left
Exactly.
him with a bag. Like, they would have made off scot-free, and it would have left Kanye holding the bag of a defunct company.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. Yep. And he recognized, I think he recognized then, nah, this girl is a scammer. Because you don't hear him talk about her. I don't think since that whole parlor thing fell through, I don't think he's really ever mentioned her like that since. And yet
no.
she continues to sound like you talking about how long ago? I mean, 7, 8 years ago? Like
Yeah,
this is
like,
man, it's crazy.
2000 and, was it 22 maybe? It was either 2009, somewhere between 2019 and 2022.
Hmm.
So,
Wow. All right, y'all.
I'm
Let's get
thinking
back.
I think it
Uh-huh.
was during the COVID time, so I think it was 2022 when they tried to do that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and he was like Kanye West was like, nah. One thing you can't take away from him is his ability to be very, savvy when it comes to making good business decisions. I mean, look how he took over Adidas. you know,
Yeah,
clothing line I still don't buy, but look how well that's gone for him, and he does have a knack for being able to establish great business connections and stuff, and make a lot of money from it. So he had to know that Parlor Inc. was not worth him buying. And I'm sure with that, people like, a LeBron James or Kanye West, where they create these whole empires, they have people that do research to see if the money would be worth it. And I'm sure the
yeah,
moment they saw that Blexit was in the hole by over a million, 1.7 million, he had to have known that Parlor Inc. was even worse. Absolute garbage. Look how she treated Blexit. So yeah, I don't blame him. Candace is a scammer. Really. Let's get back to this, you all. We got a few more minutes we're gonna get to, and once we get to a good stopping point, we'll take some questions, read supers from the chat, and give eclectic journalists a chance to answer some of you guys' questions. So let's get back to it.
I don't think I would do that. And I don't think many people were. I mean, people have had to because of what has happened since, but it's just kind of
Mhm.
odd to share someone who just died, your really good friend, supposedly their text messages with you. I mean, that's to your entire audience of millions of people. It's just kind of weird, you know?
So you can only imagine when just a couple of months later, we've been listening to Kanye's old albums on repeat. Suddenly Kanye West tweets, I love the way Candace Owens thinks. The excitement. Okay,
Oh,
we
this is
were
2018
certain
tweet.
that we had manifested it. We were 100%. We manifested this by listening to Power on repeat. Actually, I found a clip of us backstage on that day when that tweet happened, and we were doing what I used to refer to as like the Charlie dance. Here it is. You don't understand like the divinity of him tweeting that. Like I'm living in the 21st century. There's something meaning to it. The era of Kanye. I can't even explain it because you really did have to be there. Charlie was my overly bright and sometimes really annoying kid brother. I was smiling going through my chat of how many times he would text me a picture and say, does this look cool? Does this look cool? Do I look cool? This is like just a screen recording of us talking about a pair of sunglasses. He's just sending me and I'm like, nah, that's not good. Nope, that's not. No, send. Okay, that one's okay. That'll work. And this is actually one of my favorite photos of him where he said, I can just hear him when I look at this photo. I can hear him saying, does this look cool? He was wearing a pair of Yeezys that Kanye gave him. And he looked.
Did any other female that knew Charlie Kirk and claimed to be, a good friend and close to him ever do a video like this? Have you seen any other video from any other female that says, hey, Charlie Kirk was a good friend of mine. We were very close. Like, have they, any other woman that's done this claiming to be Charlie Kirk's close friend?
well, they would not do this if they were, because this is just weird, and it would look weird. They
Yeah.
like, people like Allie Beth Stuckey was probably his friend and knew him, and she's not gonna
Right.
come out and do something like this.
That's what I'm
Um,
saying. But and that's
Yeah.
what I'm getting to here. It's like you don't, I haven't seen any other self-proclaimed, bestie of Charlie Kirk that is a female do anything like this. And you have to wonder, Erica Kirk watching this video and what's going through her mind. It's like you're doing a video where you're painting this picture of you and Charlie Kirk being so close, and you're talking about how you read his messages in his phone and how you two were like an old married couple, but yet you turn around and say he was like a kid brother. I mean, which one is it? You acting like a old married couple, or he's like a kid brother? I've never ever said something like that. Do you have brothers? Do you have any brothers?
I have a little brother that I grew up with, and then when I was older, I found out that I have more brothers, and I have more brothers and one sister through my dad because I didn't know my dad as a kid. So then
Mhm.
when I became an adult, I ended up with more brothers, but I grew up with my
Mhm.
one brother that was my mom's, kid.
Did you ever
So
say that you and your brother bickered like an old married couple? Have you ever
well,
said anything like that about your brother?
my brother was like 7 or 8 years younger than me. So
Oh, okay.
I was like his mom, actually. Like, he was a baby and I was like 8, so I had to take care of him a lot. But no, like, I would never say
Yeah,
that about my brother. That's just weird.
it
But
is. I've never said that about my brothers, my god brothers. Any little brothers in my life. You know, whether they are biologically connected or not. I've never even thought that way about a kid brother, and saying in one sentence, he and I argue like a old married couple, and I had to teach him how to pack a suitcase. But then sit here and say, I loved him like a kid brother. While you're showing photos of you and him together, spending this one on one time together, and you're not featuring anyone else. Not one time has she showed any photo of Charlie and Erica Kirk. If this is someone like a kid brother to you, you don't sit here and do a video showing all these photos and text messages and all this stuff, and you don't incorporate the other people that loved him in his life into your video. Wouldn't you show photos of him and his wife or his kids?
yeah.
I mean, even if you don't show the children, him and his wife. This man was married. You are married with 4 kids, and you're doing a video as if you're reminiscing about your so-called relationship with him for 19 months when you worked for him.
Yeah,
But you
and
don't show any other aspect of his life.
all of this that she shows is only in the very beginning of this when they worked together because they weren't friends afterwards, so she doesn't have any
Mhm.
photos of later on and their kids playing and et cetera, because they weren't friends then.
Right.
um
So
so
yeah, they she didn't even go to their, well, she wasn't even invited to their wedding. And the way she even handled herself with the memorial service. I mean, when she's had opportunities to prove that they were close and she loved him like a kid brother, all you do is come across, the fact that she unfriended him on social media and she was not even invited to his wedding. I I can't fathom my kid brother getting married and I'm not inviting into to the wedding. Like that's why aren't you there? Like why didn't they invite you? You gotta. That's a way of him trying to keep his distance from her to the point where she's proclaiming I loved him like a kid brother, but won't acknowledge the fact that he did not invite her to his wedding. Like you just showing one facet of him and the relationship you had with him, but you're not showing anyone else with him that he loved that was in his life. I mean, this is so. Watching this again is so disturbing. It's so disturbing, you all.
It really was, like, because I didn't watch it before I watched it or before I played it in this video because nobody's got time for all that. You don't have time to, like, watch every video, right? I just knew
Exactly.
that I wanted to play it because it was in the time, like, all the videos kinda have a narrative they follow, like a timeline.
Mhm.
So I knew I was gonna play this, so I hadn't heard it either since the first time when I was all grief-stricken and clearly didn't remember it at all, and
Mhm.
so I'm just, like, shocked this whole time when I was watching this. I was just like, "What?" You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna have to definitely revisit this one because man, oh boy, you can put a lot of side by side videos next to this, and Milk Bar will have a ball pointing out all her lies and hypocrisies between this video and all the other ones she's done, where she talks about Charlie Kirk, and which is she doesn't even talk about him as much as she go in on Erica Kirk. Like that's so this is more proof that she was in love with him and obsessed with him. She didn't care. She was she's still vindictive and mad that he didn't marry her and that he did not name her as a successor to TPUSA. That's all she's scorned and bitter about. She didn't care about any of this. How do you do this and not cry?
Looks really cool. I thought they really suited him. I was like, yeah, you look really cool, Charlie. The reverse of that obviously was him constantly
I don't
hammering
believe
me
that at
on
all.
debates. I mean, Charlie was like, look, you gotta know the arguments of your opponents backward and forward. I remember I had
Okay. Whatever training Charlie tried to instill in her in debates did not take. Okay.
Nope.
Because she could not form an argument properly to get herself out of a paper bag. Okay.
Mhm.
That's how bad she is with
note cards like I was in high school.
Yeah.
She's memorizing every statistic and being strengthened by, just day in and day out. He was just pretending to be a protester, pretending to be a radical. And he used to always say, iron sharpens iron. And we spent so much time practicing debating and really thinking through what our ideas were. Charlie never missed a meeting that he had. He wouldn't do that. He took that very seriously. It doesn't matter what the circumstance was, even if it was a hurricane. And one day there was literally a hurricane. I think we were in North Carolina, South Carolina, I don't remember, but all the flights got canceled and we needed to be in DC by morning. And Charlie looks at me, he's like, we got to rent a car. We got to drive 8 hours. Totally insane. And one of the most fun road trips I've had in my life. Every single song was sung. Me and Charlie were always singing in cars. To show you, this is from that road trip. And then, of course, there was always some hip hop mixed in, Ignition remix.
Lace like murder, she rolls. Once I get you uncomposed, privacy is.
You look cool.
She doesn't even mention the other person in the car. Who's the other guy?
Who was she driving and, like, not looking at the road? That video just scared me.
I know, right? She was behind the wheel of the car. Hold on. I think she was driving. She's too busy trying to record. You can't make this up. Hold on, let me go back a little bit. Hold on. Who is this guy here? You know who the actual other guy in the car is? Do y'all know who he is?
They blur him out, sort of.
It seems like it, right? Who's that guy?
And then, of course, there was always some hip hop mixed in, Ignition remix.
Is she driving?
Are they on a highway?
Is she in the United States? Or is this one of those right wheel type cars where the wheel is on the right side and not the left? Because that means she's driving here. You're looking at through the front driver side. If she's in a left wheel car, why are you recording and driving? That's reckless. Yeah, you can't make this stuff up. Oh my good God. Who is the other? Does anyone know the other guy? There's 3 people in that car. She doesn't even mention the other person at all.
Yeah, it looks like there might be a guy next to Charlie there, but they have him blurred out.
Right. And it was somebody else sitting in the front. So she
Yeah.
wasn't alone with him in some of these, tours or whatever. She wasn't like alone. And yet she claims she took his credit card and booked the flight to the UK. But y'all driving everywhere else in the US? I mean, God, this is weird. Who are the other people?
Ladies like murder, she roll. Once I get you, I can roll.
This R. Kelly song did not age well.
You look cool, Charlie. You look cool.
That other guy
We
was
really did
not
go everywhere. I
driving.
mean, all 50
So
states.
clearly she was driving. She was
She's
driving in that
driving.
video. Charlie is lucky he made it this far, man.
That's what I'm saying.
That woman is dangerous. Oh my
She said
gosh.
they were on the way. They were in North Carolina, South Carolina. She didn't even remember what state they were in. You would think that you could just pull the location, Candace, on the video or photo. You can just pull the coordinates on it. God, oh, Candace is so stupid.
North Carolina time, I don't remember, but all the flights got canceled and we needed to
Of
be
course
in
she doesn't
DC
remember.
by morning. And Charlie looks at me, he's like, we got to rent a car. We got to drive 8 hours. Totally insane. And one of the most fun road trips I've had in my life. Every single song was sung. Me and Charlie were always singing in cars. To show you, this is from that road trip.
That's another dude driving here.
And then, of course, there was always some hip hop mixed in, Ignition remix.
And we can make them about to have you some fun. Bounce, 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 bounce.
He is driving.
Ladies like murder, she roll. Once I get you, I can roll. Privacy is
You look cool, Charlie. You look cool. We really did go everywhere. I mean, all 50 states, Canada, down to the border, the United Kingdom, Israel, you name it, we were there. And there was always a new t-shirt to print out. Justice for Brett Kavanaugh. Sends to be. How's this one? I love it. We just loved the t-shirts. That was a thing. The Him Too one, that was controversial. That was a controversial moment. One of those character forming moments. I won't forget it because that Me Too hashtag, it just started going viral and people were emotional. And right away I was like, Me Too is awful. This is terrible for women. It's terrible for men. Just me being Candace saying the thing, and left and right, people were hammering me.
Her saying the thing, which was just to be an antagonist for all of a public relations stunt. Man, good grief. I'm still floored at her driving and recording a live stream, taking the time to show everybody in the car. And yet, isn't that illegal? Wasn't it illegal to text and drive, or, even go so far as to live stream like this while you driving? Wasn't that illegal?
You can't take your eyes off the road. Like, you're not allowed to do that. Like, yeah.
So she's breaking the law. She puts a video up of herself breaking the law. They should have pulled her over and gave her a ticket. What are you doing? There's other people in that car. Why not get somebody else to do the live stream?
I tell you what, these people can get away with anything. Like, if I even, look in an officer's direction the wrong way, I'm probably getting taken down, but knocked to the ground, arrested. These people can do whatever they want. It's crazy to me.
Right. And mind you all, it's 2 videos. Colleen said the other guy was driving. She's in the back seat. Was it?
Yeah.
I saw her in the back seat in one.
Yeah, there were 2 separate videos. So she was in the back seat in one, and she's driving in the second one with the hip hop music.
Right. So this one was the one. Hold on, let me go back.
To show you, this is from that road trip.
So she's in the back with that one, and 2 men, Charlie and another dude in the front.
And then, of course, there was always some hip hop mixed in, Ignition remix.
and we can make them about to
See, okay, now this one, she's not, unless there is a 3rd row seat and he's in the 3rd row. Maybe that's it. Does it seem like she could have been in the 3rd row? This is crazy. I don't know.
bounce, 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 bounce. Ladies like murder, she roll. Once I get you, I can roll. Privacy is
You look
Wow.
cool, Charlie. You look cool. We really did go everywhere. I mean, all 50 states, Canada, down to the border, the United Kingdom, Israel, you name it, we were there. And there was always a new t-shirt to print out. Justice for Brett Kavanaugh. Sends to me. How's this one? I love it. We just loved the t-shirts. That was the thing. The Him Too one, that was controversial. That was a controversial moment. One of those character forming moments. I won't forget it. Because that Me Too hashtag, it just started going viral and people were emotional. And right away, I was like, Me Too is awful. This is terrible for women. It's terrible for men. You know, just me being Candace saying the thing. And left and right, people were hammering me. It was like, how dare you say that we need due process? We're talking about rape. And I remember he had young women at Turning Point who were threatening to quit, crying in the office. How could she not support Me Too? Young women who did quit. And then we had at the same time the YWLS conference. So the reporters who already hated us just completely, they just swooped in there and they were like, oh, do you support her statements? And I just remember just being behind Charlie and Andrew Colvett, and he just held the line. He held the line because he agreed with me and he knew it was going to be a bit of fire. People.
I don't think he ever agreed with her. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think he agreed with her because I mean, you know, she got fired. So obviously that's a sign he did not agree with you, Candace. I mean, even if he took the neutral stance when it came to Me Too and just said, okay, listen, there are women who actually have been victimized and have gone through a traumatic experience of being R-worded, assaulted in that manner. But you need to vet the story and have evidence. I can understand him taking that position. But he didn't agree with her on everything. All she seemed to have done was just stir up chaos and confusion. I don't see how anything that she did the entire time she worked there led to something being actually beneficial for him. If nothing else, she made him and TPUSA look bad. And he realized that at some point where he had to fire her. If that were not the case, she will still be there at TPUSA. I don't envision her like quitting. So if you're talking, you're on mute, Eclectic. I don't know if you were saying anything.
Oh, I wasn't. I was just
Oh,
listening
okay.
to you. Yeah,
yeah.
it's so weird. Why is she bringing up Me Too, and why would that even be a problem at Turning Point? Because Turning Point was a conservative organization and the conservatives were sort of against that movement. You know, they weren't really all down with it, I don't think. So I don't know why there'd be like this huge problem outbreak at Me Too or about Me Too there, unless she did something really crazy.
Which I wouldn't put past her. So either she's lying or she actually did sow all that discord and chaos for people to actually quit. Like, she's saying people quit because of
so
what she said.
She's bringing up, like, why is this? So you're bringing up times when Charlie had difficulty in his company for his memorial service. Like, why is she even talking about this, you know?
Exactly. It's supposed to be a memorial to Charlie Kirk, a
She's like,
dedication video to Charlie Kirk.
He did the right thing for me. He did exactly what I told him to do.
Thank you. That's what this comes down to, people. All Candace is doing is validating her possessive control over Charlie Kirk and not really, caring about the other people that were in his life. And it seems like she went out of her way to try to isolate him from any other female unless they were his mother or sister. Everyone else, nope, get the boot. No one goes out their way to text message some supposed love interest for 12 months. And then all of a sudden say, well, she was my best friend in my wedding, but I knew she wasn't the one. I knew she was going to disappoint him and let him down. What that? Never says the name. Oh man. It's like now in hindsight, when you look back at this whole video, this whole dedication is just, it's a glimpse of her disturbing mindset that followed with 8 months of dumb lies and her weaponizing the death of Charlie Kirk and making millions of dollars doing it. And it all started right here. You can't make this up. So for the sake of brevity, because we're hitting 2 hours, and I don't want to keep you guys long. It is 11:35 Eastern Standard Time. And I do apologize once again for my late links to you all. As you guys can see, something's going on with my internet connection or StreamYard or something. Because my video keeps freezing up. So I'm gonna pause it here. We will definitely have a deep dive on her dedication video in the LLC. But I want to be able to give opportunity for you guys to take questions, to eclectic journalists, anything you guys want to know, highlight some of you guys comments. And once again, thank you guys for supporting the Lady Luck Club, for the eclectic journalists and all of the fantastic content creators that are keeping their foot on Candace's neck, because
Yeah,
this is what you got coming, girl.
I will be so interested in hearing what you have to say watching this, because it is so bizarre, and it gets even more bizarre as you go through it, because she starts bringing up Israel, and she starts bringing up just weird stuff, that then, knowing what we know now, you're like, oh my gosh, and I think even in the beginning of this video, she says, oh, me and George were talking. So did they like map all this out? Like, oh, scrap the other video. Like, that doesn't work, right? And then they like
Right.
mapped all this out and put the next video out the next day. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So
And it definitely speaks to the fact that, her shows being pre-scripted, pre-recorded, her already stating that something was scrapped is more proof that she had the opportunity to come up with something better than this. Even if, because we all know she's a liar and she's faking the funk. But this was the best she could do. And that goes to show you didn't even, the moment you had to take this serious, you still didn't. And then you made it about yourself. And you're making it seem as if you and Charlie Kirk were in a relationship together because you were in love with him. I mean, it's that's depraved to me. So
yeah, it's crazy.
yeah,
Crazy.
absolutely. Yep. So this gives us a good glimpse of, what many, I think those who knew her and knew what she was about, people like Kimberly Klasick that, sounded the alarm, Tommy Lauren, people who really did not like her from the beginning, their concerns got pushed under the rug, and now it's coming back out, and they're like, told you so. And she fooled a lot of people. Candace fooled a lot of people. She fooled the entire Republican Party, the conservative movement, anyone, that supports Trump. She fooled a lot of people into thinking that this is who she is, and it's not.
There's a historical evidence of people moving, like every time the left gets a little more farther left, people in the left will move right. And this happened in like the 60s and the late 60s and early 70s, where a bunch of people that were New York sophisticates, like, really educated, and some of them were even Trotskyites. So they were like really far left. They moved right, and then they sort of took over the Republican Party and the way that the Republican Party, like the culture and the way that they thought, because they were what was considered the neocons. So neo means new and con means conservative. And so then so every time something like that happens and you get this wave of new people into the right, it causes a lot of problems, and they tend to push out, they want to push out all the people that were originally in the right. So that's what happened with the neocons, pushed out all the old conservatives, and from the like culture and from the stage, like they even ruined a lot of their careers and stuff. So I feel like we're seeing that again, where a bunch of people, you have Dave Rubin, all the SJWs that were connected to him, Candace Owens, all these people, and then all the downstreamers that follow her, all these people are sort of new to the right. And like they're trying to take it over now and push out the neoconservatives now that would be, you know what I'm saying? So it's if you know history, you could kind of see like how people, there's like patterns of behavior with people
Right.
and stuff like that. So,
Right.
so I find that really interesting,
Yeah.
you know.
And this, I mean, she definitely, was catapulted with the support from the conservative party and the, you know, Republicans that supported Trump, and her coming out, the facade of what she tried to present at some point was going to fall. And unfortunately, people are now really seeing, many people are now really seeing her for who she is and how evil and soulless she truly is, because she's weaponizing the death of Charlie Kirk, who many loved and supported, that are conservatives and Republicans, Trump supporters. They at least show more respect and care for Erica Kirk and his kids more than Candace. I've seen people who said, I've never met him, but I did watch his debates, and I supported him in his content, watched his shows, and this has really torn me up. You have strangers that showed more emotions than Candace. And that's
Yeah.
a good point you pointed out. S Files, shout out to my mod S Files up here. You got perfect strangers that cried more than Candace did.
Yeah, I mean, I cried as well for days, and like I said, I was sorta in a daze for, like, a few
Mhm.
weeks at least after he died, so that's why I didn't really, realize what Candace, was doing, because
Right.
I was just watching random people, so the good thing was I
Mhm.
wasn't only watching her, I was also watching, the body language guy and Paramount. I was just
Mhm.
going from place to place where people were talking about Charlie,
Right.
basically, and I don't think it took me a minute to, like, grasp what they were doing, and then it, like, clicked, and I was like,
Mhm.
"Oh, oh, okay, like, this is where we're
Right.
going with this," you know? And I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh my gosh." I just don't think I was, like, all with it and could think properly and
No,
stuff,
it's
so
yeah. And it's understandable. I think a lot of people, there are couple content creators on YouTube that came out and did, public apologies to their platforms for ever supporting Candice. That is how bad. She's tainted, a few people out there that supported her because of that. And a couple of them came out and did apology videos saying, I wish I would have never supported Candice. But this is what deception is all about. Someone that is willing to lie to the point where you want innocent people to be jailed, and you're accusing everybody of being involved in the assassination of somebody you had already unfriended and unfollowed for at least a year on social media. And not one mention of his wife. The only time you talk about the kids is when you talk about toddler training. I mean, she's just showing how disgusting she is ever since. And it's that deep-seated animosity, that scorned woman, you know, uh behavior that you're getting out of it. This screams a woman scorned. It's
I think she does
overwhelming.
talk about, Erica in this video, so it'll be interesting for you to give your thoughts on that.
Oh yeah, we're definitely going to
'Cause
revisit
yeah.
this. Absolutely. As a matter of fact, um, we have a great, good full week coming up ahead of us. I want to thank the Eclectic journalists for coming and hanging out with us in the Lady Luck Club. You guys know we'll be with Ami on Tuesday, and next week, Thursday, we'll be on Paramount Tactical. And I just got word back from Cold Blooded Christian. And so I'm trying to get something scheduled with him. And he has some information to share that I told him, listen, any and everything in this email you want to share, please do so. So we have great content creators, independent journalists, and those who are holding Candace to the fire and holding her accountable coming into the Lady Luck Club over the next upcoming week. This has been an absolute pleasure and honor. If you guys don't have any questions, we'll get to the supers right quick. Want to thank all of you all who renewed your membership or became a member of the Lady Luck Club. Shout out to you, Jackie. Shout out to Mindy. Thank you so much. Absolutely love these shows. Would love to see y'all do true crime collaboration together.
Oh
Too.
no.
Love true crime. Oh yeah.
I will
It's
not
a
be
vast field.
involved. I will not be involved in any true crime. When I created this channel, I said I would never you have no idea the stuff those people put me through in that
No,
community. Like
no. We
they
don't want you to be
draw
traumatized.
they draw the craziest people to them.
Wow.
For
Wow.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want to traumatize you. And if I do cover any true crime, it will be on the second channel. Um, that's kind of what I want to start getting to. But the angle that I definitely want to take is reviewing, the more legal process behind it, the court
Yeah,
documents, the
I like
indictment,
that.
those types of things.
I have read so law tube type stuff. Yeah, on my channel I've
Hmm.
read documents and pulled up the legal stuff, and we do stuff like that. But like when
Hmm.
you follow like one case, like like for example, what's one of like Madeline, that little girl who was murdered in Florida. When you follow a case like that, you draw in like the craziest
Yeah.
stuff to like your channel, and it's like nothing but drama and crazy,
Oh yeah.
so
Yeah. You definitely have to be careful because you got people who do not have, good intentions.
well,
Um,
sometimes
coming
they're,
in
like,
and
also not all mentally there, so you do,
yeah,
like, one
exactly.
thing that upsets them, and now you've got, like, a Reddit page, and people are making YouTube channels, like, to mock and make fun of you, so, I mean, like,
Oh no, man.
you
Yeah,
just gotta
why?
be like I mean, that didn't happen to me, I just saw it happen to, like, other people, so
I believe it. Yeah, I believe it. Yeah, I mean, you got a lot of people that have covered true crime from an angle where they're advocating, and they are genuine about it, and then they'll, have, um, some sponsors and things that people can donate to help victims. So, a couple of the content creators that I do watch, Annie Elise is one of them, and
yeah, she's
the
great.
other one,
Yeah.
yeah, she's good. And the other one that I watch predominantly, her name slipped my mind. And then of course for like the legal perspective, Law and Crime is just like top tier for me as far as real attorneys going over the case and diving into the court documents, going over the hearings and those types of things. Law and Crime is excellent. So if we
Yeah, I
when we
like
do true
to
crime, it'll
watch,
be on the second channel.
yeah, I like to watch, Runkle of the Bailey, and I
Hmm.
like to he's a lawyer, and then I like
Hmm.
to watch Andrea Burkhart, and then some people really like, what's her name? Oh, man, Emily D. Baker. Yeah, so
That's a new one.
she's huge. She's, like, one of the biggest law tubers, but yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. So if we do any, it'll be you coming on my second channel. That way you don't have to take the hit if you want to. If of course it's up to you, but
Oh, yeah, no,
it'll be
that's
on
fine.
my second channel. Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, on my channel, it's not gonna have
Oh
anything
yeah.
to do with true crime.
Completely understandable. Shout out to you, Mindy. Thank you so much for being a member for 4 months. Oh, Tracy became a new member. Thank you so much for the support, Tracy. I
Oh,
appreciate it. Make sure
I
you
see
guys
her
go
around a
and
lot too.
uh-huh. Tracy is we have some great lucksters and great fantastic mods here in the Lady Luck Club. And I am absolutely blessed to have all of you guys supporting me. Make sure you go and support the Eclectic Journalist. Her YouTube channel is there. Shout out to you, Juju. Thank you so much for posting that up. And thank you for gifting a membership. So if you guys receive memberships from fellow Lucksters, be sure to thank them in the chat and give them a good shout out. Thank you so much, you guys, for your support. And this is where we're going to it's a good stopping point so we can make sure we're going to go over this video ourselves in the Lady Luck Club, and of course, go through the breakdown of it. This is even more disturbing now. Having hearing this the second time is like, oh my god. I'm like you. I didn't even remember all of what she was saying then. But yes, it's definitely worth a second look. So thank you so much, Eclectic Journalist. You know, you got to do this again. You're more than welcome to come back up and join us at any time when you have time. I know you had to take
Okay.
some time out of your evening, but you guys wish the Eclectic Journalist a good evening and tell her
Thank you
thank
guys.
you for hanging out with us today. Thank you so much, girl.
Thank you guys for having me. It was wonderful to hang out, and I will see you guys next time.
All right, now we'll drop you down. Be good. Take care now. Y'all, shout out to the Eclectic Journalist for joining us in the Lady Luck Club. I have been looking forward to this all day. And then, you know, the internet doesn't work. God. So now you guys, you know, I need to get a new camera. That's what it's coming down to. I actually just need a regular camera because I don't know what's going on. But thank y'all so much. Y'all make sure you hit the like button. Hype the video up once it's done. I appreciate all of you all. And share the video. Send it out on Twitter X, on Facebook, Instagram. Make sure you share this and tune in to upcoming announcements on shows scheduled to have Cold-Blooded Christian joining us. That is going to be fantastic. And we're definitely going to have Ami here with us next week. And we're going to be over on Paramount Tactical with Gary next week, Thursday. So you guys be tune into those shows. Mark your calendars, turn on your notification bells. Make sure you go and support the Eclectic Journalist. Check out all of her videos on the narrative machine that she is doing on Candace. Candace, you got to come, girl. All right, y'all. That's all we got for this one. Thank y'all so much. And until the next one, Lady Luck Club out.